Dave here with Affordable Door Gate. I hope you are doing great. Anywho, just wanted to come on here to say hello for a Sunday. Didn't know if anybody's getting back from camping. Got beat up over the weekend. Have a good weekend. Got a busy Monday. What's going on? I'm working on a little HVAC today. Oh, it's great to be a landlord, eh? Yes. And it's obviously my fault. I screwed up. Rich B can just beat me up all day long. I put it in a dumpster, but this is when you're young and you're dumb and you're something. But I put a hole in the back of this thing, right? And it worked. I mean, I got whatever. I think we're sitting around 10 plus years. We haven't figured out a exact date yet. But as always on the lives, you guys are more welcome to ask questions. I'm going to put you over in the corner probably as a naughty little person. And we'll go through the comments as they come. So, what's up, Mr. Rusty? Hope you're doing good. Glad you're back. 5G, baby. No 5G around here. 5G. Wi-Fi. But, yeah, I got to clean this up a little bit. Yeah, it's not quite the right way. I should figure out something else. Overhangs need to get touched up with paint. They're rusting. Thought about putting a little shelter. Maybe Rich B will give some advice on it. He's got a bracket. I just sent that to the Wifetron to put out for this thing. It needs like 12 inches. I think he said 12 inches. A foot away. I'm new to this. I'm not much of an HVAC guy. But this one I figured we're not dying, so I'm going to swing it. I got 2 bad circuit boards in it. I don't know if it got zapped, got overheated. It's been working its hiney off. This thing is nothing but a cesspit. It just needs to get done. There's a nice faucet over here. You can see the faucet. There's the faucet right there. Yeah, there's a real nice faucet there that you just really can't ever get access to it since this has been here. Eventually this is supposed to get concrete out, but they got me so bad in the front back in the day that I was always scared to do back here. But I'm a little more seasoned. I might tempt it myself to pour her in here. You gotta watch some of the L1 stuff, all those concrete form guys, right? Pile of leaves. Oof. This vegetation is not good. This probably should go. There's always something to do, right? Nothing like being a property owner. So that's why I kind of labeled it as sometimes less is more. Because that's just the way it is. Feel free to comment. I'll jump back in here in a second. Got a little boom box going. Can't play that though, I don't think. I think we get in trouble. Just gonna do a little cleaning. A little housekeeping. Hope everybody had a great Sunday. Hopefully relaxing, not working. But, for me, you got to make hay when the sun shines. Might be a little loud with the cars. I probably should show you. Hey, well, the good thing was, look what I found. I kind of think these are my favorite. What do you guys think? I like these kind of faucets. I found this in the Willy Weeds. So, I don't know if it's going to work. It's got sand. But, hey, I like it. So, anywho, let me show you the backside of this thing. It has not gotten maintenance. It's been just poorly maintained. Jeez. There's the exhaust for that thing. Look at this thing. Oh, to heavens, Betsy's. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. It can't breathe. It can't breathe. So it's not good. Hey, I see we got one like too. If you guys don't mind, don't forget to hit the like button. This helps wake up the algo. Helps bring more great people in, and then it also lets me know that you're not a robot. You're actually human. We still have humans in this world. People of this universe, not this AI generated crap. Yeah. And I figured if somebody gets a good comment in there, we'll address the comment. That's if you can even hear me. I don't think I can set you up over here, but maybe I can. Maybe I can bring you a little closer. I'll try to bring you a little closer. I got the boom box. Like I said, we got nothing. Absolutely nothing. We're always playing around. Oh, excuse me. There, we'll bring it a little closer. That way you can hear the street noise. You can hear the Harley Davidsons. Not really liking that position, but I think you'll at least be able to hear me a little bit better. That's what Uncle Sam tells us, right? What's Uncle Sam tell us? He says you will own nothing and you will be happy. Well, nothing ain't gonna lie. There's some truth to that, isn't there? The sticker's coming off. Kind of going above and beyond because honestly we don't know if this thing's gonna, this is probably bad luck. I normally don't like doing this. Oh, water. Yeah, spider. Daddy long leg. If I crush a daddy long leg, we'll get a good luck, right? We'll get finally get some rain. You know, Rusty, I was thinking about you yesterday. Maybe a little bit today too. Watch out. But what I was thinking is I was thinking the old Nissan. Hey, we got 2 likes too. Thanks for hitting the like button. We got what was it? The Nissan came from PA. Came from your neck of the woods. Now I think of it. I guess it made me wonder a little bit. Maybe they don't rust so bad over there because this one don't have. I mean, it does have rust. Don't get me wrong. I mean, but she's not showing. She's not a shower. So that's the difference, I guess. Or whatever, you know. Oh yeah, this feels so good. It would have been better when it was working. Oh, preventative maintenance. Preventative maintenance. See, this might be why you should be always offering your customers preventative maintenance. Because I tell you what, like I said, now I feel the pain. And I would gladly pay for a service that would have took care of this. Or at least if they would have had more eyes on it, they would have said, you know, and I'd say, what's the deal? I mean, I only get these kind of lessons because I got Rich B in my life. But I mean, I've learned a few things too, right? Oh, I see Rusty comment. I'll get back to it. Gotta grab a screwdriver. I got a light I could possibly still fix. I don't know about the light yet, though. Is the company, it says something about, is the company, is it busy this? I'm assuming there's more to it. Rust out, oh yeah, before the motor has a problem. Yeah. It's still pretty steady work-wise. I mean, you always want more, right? So I'm trying to head off what I think is either a couple ways I look at it. These are obviously just my opinions, and I'm just some cuckoo on YouTube. I either see, I don't know, and you know, Rusty, don't be afraid to put in the comments what you think either, man. You know what I mean? We can always agree to disagree. But we got 3 likes too. Thanks for hitting the like button. But I either see, in my opinion, I either see stagflation, which if somebody needs me to go through stagflation a little bit, I can. But you know, it's just kind of we keep putzing along right where we're at, or we're gonna kind of, because I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing more. Been seeing more layoffs. So, you know, and I'm not seeing a lot of job creation. I mean, you guys let me know if you're seeing it. Please put it in the comments. I would love to know. But in our neck of the woods, like I said, nothing severe, but I mean, what was it? Microsoft had something. You know, you keep hearing these little, they're kind of hush-hush. So, I don't know. And something that changed my mind a long time ago was that, yeah, I'm not for all the stimmies, right? But that stuff all trickles down. It's kind of like I think about when the cough syndrome was going around. You know, that stuff, I mean, you were just so busy, right? I mean, you couldn't get doors, you couldn't get supplies, you know, everything was demand, everything went crazy. Take this cover off. That's not too bad inside there. Let's see if we can spray out the inside here. Never quite did one like this before. I'm sure there's some special, if anybody's got special stuff you're supposed to use. That'd be great. I'm just going to use hopefully some kind of gentle water here. Try to blow some of this out without wrecking the fins. This does seem to be working pretty well at the moment. Boy, she's nasty. She's nasty. She's got some cottonwood in her. Oh, look at that stuff. Oh, stuff is horrendous. The older I get, the more I don't like trees. I mean, I love the shade, but man, I don't like trees. A big roofing company. I notice everything he owns, he has no trees around. And I'm always like, does he do it because he knows when we have storms, you know, you can't get the people out? Or just all the debris and leaves and crap that comes out of them? I don't know if they're worth it, especially in Michigan. You only get like 2 months of hot weather, you know. The rest is cold. You're heating. A lot of vehicles rust out, especially before the motor has a problem. Yeah, I mentioned that too. We do get a lot of that here. A lot of them rot out. That's unfortunate. Maybe I need to find an adapter that'll fit down in this HVAC a little better. She's tight. Toy. Videos. Hey, is it Devon? Am I saying it right? I'll butcher names. Sorry. I must say, I do appreciate videos. They help a lot. Starting my own garage door repair company. Congrats on that. Awesome. Good for you. You're in the right place. Best thing you can do, which Uncle Dave always loves, is if you can ask questions. Because I like getting fired up sometimes. You know what I mean? Good or bad. I can tell you both. There's good and there's bad, right? Ooh, right. Lack of jobs, overworked, understaffed. Oh man, isn't it crazy how service. Does anybody else ever feel like you just don't want to go out and deal with people anymore with a service? You know what I'm saying? Like you just like there's a, you know, like you go around and you're just like, I'm smarter than you, you know, or it's just so bad. So bad. When you find a good one, oh, you better hang on to her for dear life, you know what I'm saying? What the heck's this thing? No, like, run out? I don't get too crazy with this hose. Mess up the fins. Probably a better way to do this. I did bring some engine degreaser. No parts yet, Rich B. What do I use to clean these fins? Just soapy water? I feel like I need something. I feel like I'm missing something. It's coming off, but it's still stuck. Look at that stuff. I just been slowly washing it down, but this poor thing. This poor thing. Oh, neglect. The neglect. I feel so bad. I feel so bad. No, I just had a little bit of time. So I just knew this was going to take time. So I said, you know what? I might as well come play with it a little bit, get cleaned out. So that way if it does fire up, because, well, I can't say for sure. We'll see how the world Oh, I know what I wanted to ask Rich B. We got 4 likes too. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Do they pretty much all come pre-charged in the lines? Because it seems like they're kind of a bear to charge. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not impossible, but it's a lot of work. So it's like, to me, it's like, do pretty much these units all come with pre-charged lines? That's kind of the thing nowadays. Or maybe just the Beat Shoes or whatever does not do that. So gross. So gross. Hopefully the ground will soak up some water because it's been drier than a popcorn fart around here lately. Usually 25. You're right, lack of jobs, overworked, understaffed. Con Teeth, is it? It says hi. Well, hello. To get parts. Okay, so they do. To a certain point, usually 25. Yeah, I mean, I figured. I just wondered if I ordered another Fujitsu, if it would come with, you know, they don't really advertise. Like, there is certain companies that will say, we have, you know, everything's blah, 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 but I don't know. I guess I really didn't look at the fittings either to see if there were kind of those funky lines. So I don't know. I've been thinking, though, if I put it up higher, it's going to get rain shed off onto it, and that's probably not good for it either. So, I just don't know. I thought about maybe possibly building like a little roof for it. It's not a really good way to extend the roof out, though, on this thing. I'm sure I could figure out something. Maybe I'll shove some of that crusty old metal up there, shove some metal under it, but my luck, it'll be, you know, if I do that, then I'll be doing it rough. Rusty got a busy week. If you're still here. Oh, he's just messaging something. That's why you need to do your preventative maintenance. Gotta do your preventative maintenance. Businesses that you need to market to customers who have the money. Sell to cheap customers who buy, what does it say, an iPhone every couple years, but think an opener is too expensive. True, won't work. Yes, the wall bracket has been sent to the Wafertron. So I don't know if there's something special about that wall bracket or just any wall bracket. Rich, I did send her that one though. But it just seems like no matter how I do the math or look at it and I go, it's going to get just boom, maybe. It's going to get water shedding on it. That's probably not good. But then I thought about, what about putting it inside the garage? But then it might be, I don't know if that'd be counterintuitive, like in the wintertime, if it helped heat it all. Like I kept thinking, what about like right here? Now that's if we probably replace, because I'm not dealing with all the lines right now. This puppy runs, she runs. I'm gonna let her be. Well, yeah, I know. Hey, I see we got 6 likes too. Thank you guys for the like button. If you don't mind, hit the like button. It just wakes up the algo. Oh, Evan's in the house. What's up, Mr. Evan? You doing live tonight? What's the excuse tonight, Evan? You know I got to give you crap. Got to break the ice, baby. Come on, guys. We got to tell Evan. He can do a live. He should do a live tonight. I don't know how I'm gonna spray back there. But only got one circuit board in so far. The other one's still got to come from Japan. Japan, don't you know? They make the garage very hot. Yeah, that's probably not good. Because then that's going to make more ice. Ice, ice, baby. We don't want that. So it's probably got to keep its happy hiney out here. I'm just thinking about bringing it up higher. And then, like I said, maybe possibly shimming some sheet metal under there to kick it out about another foot or two. That's what I'm kind of looking at. Bring this thing up about yay level so it's nice to work on. You know what I'm talking about? Like those gate operators. You know how you like to be right at the, you know, at the booby height. Did a double spring change on a 16x7. Was a 3800 today. Ooh. Uh-oh. What did I push? What did I push? Oh, man, I pushed a button. It went blank. Did a double slow boat. Evan, you have to reset the opener. Rich's guy says, extend the roof. That's what I'm kind of thinking. Don't really want to do gutters. Gutters will, you know, get ripped off and all that. I do want to do it over the door, our main door. But I'm just thinking I can shove some metal under there, bring that roof out a little bit. Boom. Ice can slide off. Water can slide off. Because, you know, too much splashy-dashy in here. I could see it getting stuff wet. This thing is not like... I didn't realize most of the brains were out here. That's what it seems like anyways. I did, he says. 18 inches. That's a pretty good idea. Assuming you meant rest, reset limits. Yes. Ooh, Dakota's guy says use duct tape. I like that. Duct tape's a good idea. 7 likes, by the way. 5, 6, 7. Maybe we get 10 before the end of the video. Rich, you got anything going this week? Any JOBs? Any openers? Yes. Oh. Did you reset the pressures? Redo the limits to so it's sealed properly. And force. Nice. The quick, this quack whack says ducks fix everything. Ooh, bottom seal. Is it the? Do you run into that, Rich? Where you got 2 different bottom T-seals. One's just a hair thinner. One's a hair wider. You ever run into that? Gotta make sure you got both. It's so nasty. I can't believe this thing got this bad. I want Evan. Evan doesn't know it. I'll tell Evan now though. We got 7. We still got 7 likes. I'm telling you, all this stuff's AI. But Evan doesn't know it. But Evan is a gold mine because he's a young buck. He's a young buck, and he can show a lot of other young bucks that if he can do it, they can do it. Me, I'm just a grumpy old man, you know. It's like almost like it's like dead animals, but it's not. Ugh, it's gross. Ugh. Oh, there might be a dead animal in there. That's what that one looks like. There's a dead animal in there. Staying in here because it's warm for wintertime. No, I see how it is. Had the wife trying to order the bib because I figured either way this one doesn't get resurrected. The next one will need cleaning because was it every month? Every month, huh? Sure thought there was a dead animal in here. What do you say for your house furnace? Every month? Every 3 months? I go about every 2 to 3 months. Just all depends on how much it's getting used. Remember who is the small one? Ooh, Wayne Dalton. Rusty says Clope is the big T. It's really. Welcome to Muskegon. It's really small. It's really small though. Evan says, yes, Dave. The other Caleb saw that video. Ooh, what's a bee doing? I don't need no bees. No, it wasn't a bee, it was a bug. So I didn't video I did in the chair and he started his own business. He's around my same age. See? Telling you, man. Or the old dot style rubber, some really old Wayne Daltons, Waynes. Bulb type. Yeah, they got that round stuff. For like, what is that for? That's like for the 9000 series doors. That round always pops out on you. It's real bare. Hate it. Don't like it. Oh my gosh. How do I keep hitting these buttons? I feel like I should be dancing. All right, stop. Let's go back to none. Oh, here I can change it to my boy. So I sent Rich earlier, right? Let's see if I can change it. Look at that. I can change it. See what else I can do. Might as well have a little fun here. Oh, this is a crappy one I sent. This is great. It's like I'm right there living it right now. Oh my gosh. Look at this crap hole. Not good. Not good. I'll leave that. That's prettier. Did an old Dios rubber, the Waynes. Evan, gotta have to rip out TorqueMaster. Just have to confirm price I got from vendor includes springs. So let me bring. So this is my opinion. Maybe Rusty and whoever else can actually put some more fuel into this fire because. So Evan, when I was thinking about that TorqueMaster, you were like, talking about possibly, upgrading it, replacing it, and my brain automatically just went to, nope. I said, screw that, just do a torsion conversion. And I think the reason is because on the TorqueMaster, you said the sticker was missing and you didn't have the weight. So, my brain, the flags started going off, and I said, all right. I said, well, you're starting kind of from scratch and the unknown. So let's say you put a spring on it, or let's say you order the TorqueMaster, right? And the TorqueMaster, at least for us, always took a couple weeks. So that always sucked. So to me, I went, nope. I went torsion because I figured this way, let's say you put a spring on it and the spring's wrong, because this happened, right? I mean, it never happened to me. But you put a spring on it, you're like, this door runs absolutely like garbage. At least you got all the material up there, right? The torsion tube, the drums, to just get a different spring. But with a TorqueMaster, where do you go from there? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you just don't have that many options. Like, at least with a torsion, you can even bring it to the job site if you've even brought it along and cut it down to make it more powerful or something. You know what I mean? So I just was like, that's why I said, nope. I said I'd be doing torsion. I wouldn't even offer TorqueMaster unless there was a headroom issue and the TorqueMaster fit in there snug as a bug. Then obviously I would probably go with another TorqueMaster. But most of the time we always try to swap them out, unless it was just it fit in there like a, snug as a bug. Oh, I see the comments laying up. Don't forget, too, if you're jumping in here, if you don't mind, please hit the like button. Just helps bring more people, wakes up to Algo, lets people know we're live, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. I might grab a sip of water here. Oh, darn, this thing keeps slipping, but it's weird. If I keep tipping it like this, it don't matter, right? It doesn't matter the background. What are we working on? I'm working on an HVAC. Rich B had all the confidence in the world. He said, you can do it. You can do it. I said, I don't know what I'm doing. He said, you can do it. So I got a couple burned up circuit boards. We're waiting for order. So I'm just cleaning it right now. We're just enjoying this lovely day with a little less humidity and cloudy skies. Is it from Canada? Has Canada got all this smoke in the air again? Got hazardous breathing conditions today. Wash outside twice a year. Oh. Inside filter twice, but have 4-inch media filter. Ooh, the 4-inch thick one, huh? Whee! So Evan's got on here. What's he got? It's kind of hard to read for some reason. So apparently, an older residential guy in the area, I've been told apparently mom and pop shop puts all residential jobs at the bottom of list for weeks or months later. Could be. They could be, that stuff all changes. It all changes. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm more of a commercial guy too. You know what I mean? Like the resis, you're kind of on the bottom. You know what I mean? Because it's really weird to think, but I mean, does anybody else feel this way? Like, I mean, I out of all the years, I can't remember a time where it was like, oh my gosh, like we always had, like you go back to a customer and you've been with them for so many years. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't seem like it. It's like they just kind of call whoever. But commercial, hundreds of times we've been back. You know what I mean? Like with the same customer. So, they might have, and that could be, it's kind of like what I've talked about before. It's kind of a positive for you because it's the same with affordable. Same with affordable, right? Like I said, we don't do after hours. We don't do weekends. We don't do 24 hours anymore. We used to. But then it's like you get old and you get fat and you just get lazy and you figure out your niche and, where now it's like, I'd like to see a little more residential. So we're pointing the ship that way a little bit, more 5 Mile famous, because boy, oh boy, I tell you, the more you bring down those mileages and the more you're close out of a lot of different businesses too, it's so much better. Like you don't even sweat nothing. You're just like, no big deal. Like this job back here, this job right here in the picture, went to. I've told Evan a little bit. Went there. They didn't have the key accessible for me. They didn't know I was coming that soon. I'm like, why would you call me? But luckily, it was already on a trip that I had to go that way anyways, so it was no big deal. But if it was an hour away and I had nothing going that way, Uncle Dave would not be happy. What's up? Garage door. How are you? How are you? Hope you're doing good. Staying busy. To weigh it because it was ripped off where the weight is printed. Son of a gun. It was 100 or 160. It came to around 160. Yeah, I'm thinking 160. I was say 100. I don't remember too many hundreds. 160 sounds more familiar. Evan needs to waste a few hours, weeks, wasting time and money. So he says, "Fan, yeah." In the future, always do torsion conversion. Yeah, you just have so many more options. It's like a Swiss Army knife, where if you do you got to remember all these manufacturers are trying to get you married into their product. That's the whole idea, right? Like Ideal and Wayne Dalton with their TorqueMaster, and I think I forget what Amar calls theirs, but they got some easy Torx thing too. So, you know what I mean? But that's how they get more money. You know what I mean? That's what they want. Weigh the door. Plus, you need to check cables because they're thinner. I don't, so on the cables, most time, I always just put I put the buttons on them, and I always ran with them. I never really had a problem with the drums, ever having problems with them. The thinner cable to a little bit thicker, the medium-sized cable. So I've always just reused them. I drug them out of the TorqueMasters, and then I'll normally put them on the drum about what would that be? 3 o'clock on the drum, right? Wrap it around about 3 o'clock area. Cut it off. Put two ends on it. I always put two ends. One so it's a nice thick one, and I smash the other one. Put a little piece of tape on there if you want, a little electrical tape or something, so it doesn't fall down on you. Get it stuck in the drum. Get it clipped in there. Way you rock and roll. I mean, you can always change them too. It just seems like the buttons on the bottom there are a little funky, getting them on and off. And if the cables are in good shape, I've ran with them. So. Yes, exactly. Rusty's guy says, "I never pull the cable out of the drum." Yes, exactly. On the Wayne Daltons, you're done. I feel like I did it once. I sure as heck don't even know how I did it, but I did it, and it was an absolute nightmare because I was just desperate. But yeah, you don't ever pull the cables out if you're gonna reuse them. If you're just changing out the spring inside, because the way they have it, you can just change the spring out inside. It's not fun, and I don't recommend it because it's a real bear. Because a lot of times when they blow up, that plastic end cone gets wedged in there sometimes. So you just want to order the whole torsion. I normally just ordered the whole torsion tube. I ordered all new assemblies for the ends. That way, all new bearing. I mean, I'm always the type where I'm like, I'd rather have and not need than to need and not have. Considering things here, tends for the States, I'll just say torsion is, there you go, Canadian. Do we got tension still? I haven't been watching the news. We still got tension with Canada? Canada and us, we can't be friends? I thought Trump was going to write a check. What's happening, guys? Yeah, storm over here. Oh my gosh, our town got evacuated. Holy cow! Yeah, my grandparents are here again. Oh my gosh, man. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. That's no joke. Walk around in the background. Joke. I don't think I got one of him. Fridays, all customers, same. Whoever calls gets my next spot. Lebanon? Wow. What's up? Hello, hello. Same, Rusty, considering I have 10 service calls this week. Variety of things. I see I got a little love. I got a little heart. Somebody loved me. Hey, we got 10 likes too. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Just went to get them done since I'm using software. I'm not using software, and I was afraid I might get slack once the phone rings. Yeah. Well, and it's one of those things when you're starting out, man, you got to take it all. I mean, you take everything, and everything is priority. Everything's kiss butt. Everybody's I love you. It's, like you gotta just, go after it, right? Where like for us, for most, our higher margins are in the commercial, and there's more, for us, there's more resi guys than there is commercial. Because you'd be surprised. I see Rich sent me the Joe. Oh, I can't wait. I love it. There's a lot of guys too that are afraid of heights. So, we get up there, 20, 30 feet up in there. It's, I got Easy Set wine ordered after sending weeks dealing with Home Depot. Ooh. 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 And this is, so Evan, I'm, thank you for bringing this up, because, here's like my brain, as soon as you just said that, my brain went, yep. And that's why I say the heck with it. I'm not doing easy sets, and I'm not doing torsion or TorqueMasters. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? And that's where that's up for you. Obviously, where you got to draw the line. Even with us being a Wayne Dalton dealer, it didn't work out. You know what I mean? It always took like 2 weeks, and the customer don't want to wait 2 weeks. And the thing is now it's sitting on your, for me, a lot of times when I was out in the truck a lot, it's like this stuff is like on your mind. It compounds, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I just got to get this when these parts come in, and this customer, and then it leaves more time on the table, on the clock, for the customer to find somebody else. You know what I mean? Or for them to be starting to call you, or them to be upset at you, or to become a keyboard ninja and start blowing you up on social media. I would never use this person again. They told me it's going to be 2 weeks. It's been 2.5. This is bullcrap. You know what I'm saying? Like things like, so like time is the enemy. You know what I mean? So that's why for me, it's always like, that's why the trucks, I can't show you because I got this sinking camera thing on here. Let me go back. That's why the trucks, right? The vans, they got those tubes. And that's why you want a fully service van, fully decked out service van. You know what I mean? Because when I went to the job, especially for me, man, time was money. I want to get every job I can get done, and I want to get it done efficiently. I didn't want to have to go back to the shop. So, boom, baby. I got solid tube. I got weather seal on there. I got angle iron there, commercial and residential. And I got normal. Well, on those ones carry, typically it's 18 foot. I carried an 18-foot torsion tube. You know what I mean? And I try to carry a 9-footer, or a 10. That way I didn't have to cut it all the way down, but I didn't really care. I knew in the back of my mind, I knew it was in my truck, and I would be like, well, I know a torsion tube is whatever back then. It was 30 some change, so $40. So I'm going to charge them, whatever. I'm going to charge them $60, $80, whatever. They're going to eat a 16-footer or an 18-footer. That's just what it is. They don't know. They just want it fixed. They typically really don't care. That's going to be they don't know that you're getting them for another $20 because we're not using a 9-footer that I had, because I've done that before. I've gone to multiple jobs and I'm already out and I used up one. I go to another one and I'm like, great, I got to cut a 16-footer down. You know what I mean? Oh, well, it is what it is. Or I've had it where we do one and they go, well, what about this one? And I go, we could do it if you want. I want them to look the same, or I want them to be both new. Because if this one gets the same amount of use, no problem, customer. Well, I'll take care of it. So, you know, that's why I always carried like a couple set of drums and the hinges and all that stuff, rollers and stuff. That way you can get it done, right? Because every time you're traveling, that's time. And then it's sitting, and then you got to go back. So I can see why, like, the Easy Set, they don't carry them in stock, which unfortunately, you know, for us, we're lucky down here. They carry them at Menards in stock. So for you, that might just be where you kind of say, you get a picture and say, all I can do, and you pre-qualify the customer and tell them, say, you got the Easy Set. I run into a lot of problems with those. They're not very, they have a lot of failures. And you know what? I mean, all I do is torsion, and I just know roughly they run whatever your number needs to be. You know, $300, $400, $600, $6,000 to $5,000. You know, whatever. You know what I mean? Just that's the ballpark. And they go, okay, well, how soon can you do it? I can come out there. I can measure. I can clamp it. You know, what I started doing is like even, you know, either order 2 set of those springs if you want, so you got some, or order them 10 footers. I've done that before, and then that way you start learning how to cut them down. Get yourself a little setup, bench table and all that. You can start cutting cable or springs. You got them somewhere, stash them. Like I said, a cheap way I think I've thought about doing was one time is you don't really have a good spot, but if you got a field or something, put them in 4-inch crapper pipes. You know what I mean? Just throw them in there, put caps on them. You know what I mean? Throw a little goop on the end or something, cap them, sit out in the field in the tubes, you know, because they are kind of a pain to huff around. Or I think you can slinky them up, put them in 55-gallon drums, and you can buy lids for 55-gallon drums, just ones that go on. You put a brick on top. Done that before. Park order papers you can fill out when you get customers. I'll email quotes for doors. Ask for an opener or anything else. Invoice, he says. They ask, I probably should get work order papers made up. Yeah, I don't know, Evan. Do you got a local like print shop that you could start using that could help you out? You know, it might be something you want to start looking into, because sometimes, man, those things, yeah, they're a few more bucks, but you know how it is, man. You know, you try to go online, and you got to sit there, and then you got somebody bugging you or whatever, and you get sidetracked. And you know, where if you can just start going in somewhere, you know, and then, like I said, if you ever want, I can always send you a picture of my old invoice. I'm sure it could use a little more fine tuning. You can tune it however you want, but I always knew there was those 4 things pretty much, right? And I think there's now maybe 5, right? It was name, address, what is it? Phone number, email. Email's big for down the road. I feel like there was another one on there. Might have to look at it. What's happening here? Not much. What are we talking about? Garage door stuff, business, all that good stuff. Evan, you know, like, want to send customers info, my price, and notes. I've been busy with business. I haven't had time to pay attention to like I used to. Are you a Trump supporter? I think I'm 50-50. I think they're kind of all in one, you know, what is it? They're all one big party and we're not part of it type of thing. So what am I considered? Independent? Am I independent? Kind of independent. At what point will you consider going garage door full time? Ooh, Rusty, yeah. What are you talking about? I probably should get some for making notes. I'm considering busy right now. Want to see what winter looks like. Yeah, that's a good idea. This, and then see what next phase looks like. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I'd be right there. I'd be right there with Evan. Now, I don't want to disclose too much, you know, but it sounds like at least, you know, Evan's got a good support in the background, you know, aka wife. So that's a nice thing. But what'll screw you is just my opinion. This is my opinion. Is if you start. So, like, I remember we had to make a you know, tough decision, right? You know how it is, right? You always, I want to get the next nicer house and all this stuff, right? this place always comes first. This is the garden. This is what I talk about. This is a garden. We all tend to the garden. We all eat from the garden. The garden needs a lot of work, right? It always needs, you got weeds, you got bugs, you got, rototillin, you need to water it, you need to fertilize it, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff. So what my point is, if you're really serious about it and you want to make your life easier, this is my opinion, is I would, it's kind of why I mentioned in this video, less is more. You know what I mean? If you can stay away from, you can choose what you want to do. When I started out, I went the wrong way, right? I went into like this huge kill mode, and it really cost me. Luckily I was young, and luckily the kids weren't around yet, because you get a little bit of a span with kids, right? Like maybe, and that all depends, right? Because there's a lot of stuff, like a lot of deepness that goes into this, right? But sometimes the women, right, will find out like, oh, I really don't want to pursue a career anymore, or I don't want to work, I want to stay home, which is totally fine. They want to take home. And then sometimes the problem is that you start having kids, you start realizing, oh my gosh, diapers, formula, the hospital, the baby seats, we need a different car, we need, there's all these different things that go through. And then, oh my gosh, daycare, that was one for us. Daycare was huge. You know what I mean? It was like, you're making $400 a week, daycare's $450, and then yet you got travel and gas, and it's like, this isn't really mathing out right. So what I'm getting at though is, if you can stay within your means a lot more, you don't have to say yes to everything, is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Where for me, you're basically, it was, I guess, in a nutshell, you're like a yes man. Oh yeah, I can do that. It's an hour and a half away. Not a problem. I can do it. Yeah. And you're running all over the place. You run yourself ragged. You run your trucks, your vehicles ragged. It's just not a good situation. So that's why I'm always like, sometimes, the numbers all have to number out. But, being in the garage door business, there's one thing I still earn for, and that is taller ceilings. Get taller ceilings. Don't worry so much about the house. The house can be small, and you can live in a small house. We all, not all of us, but I grew up in a small house. My mom and my dad all grew up in smaller houses than what I've even ever touched foot on, in a nutshell. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just, one bathroom. How they do it? One bathroom and 6 kids. Like they just, you make it happen. But the building, whatever it is, lease, get yourself on a main road or something. That helps a lot, because then you can work on your own trucks if the mechanic can't get to it, or you want to save money. You want to store your stuff inside, your garage doors, because garage doors suck outside. I've done it every way to Sunday, unless you do shipping containers, enclosed trailers. You can try to tarp them. Doesn't work. It's like the water leaks through the tarps. The cardboard gets all wet. Then you lose the protection when you're trying to haul it. If you got any vibrations, a tire out of balance. And then it looks nasty when it goes to the customer. Then you got to tear the whole door apart. Who's done that? Put number one in the comments. Put number one in the comments if you've had to wash a garage door. A nasty garage door. It doesn't have to be super nasty, but you know what I'm talking about. Like the leaves, it's just dirty water on it, and you're like, oh man, I can't let the customer, you know what I mean? It's supposed to be a brand new garage door. Like, it can't be like that, so you gotta scrub the whole thing. You gotta tip it up just right. You gotta spray the water in it just right to get the crap to flow out. Oh, it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare. So, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't have second guessed myself. There was a lot of times when I second guessed where I said, maybe we should, we should splurge a little bit. You know what I mean? Nope. I really do believe, to some degree, that's why I sent you the Grant Cardone, right? That, in a nutshell, this is a nutshell. Like I said, just my opinion. My dreams have to come first. You know what I mean? and then it flows over, right? There's a good movie out there. I forget what that movie was, but it's like it talks about there's a God, then there's the man, then there's the woman, then there's the children, and it's like where, I know what the garden needs. You know what I mean? Like nobody else is gonna, like, most time, in a nutshell, women are not the go-getters, right? Men want respect, women want security. So, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta go after your dreams. You gotta if you think, you gotta be really smart, and you gotta move slow. So, right? It's almost like that slow to hire, quick to fire, you know what I mean, type of thing. Everything you bring into your life is a weight. You bring another vehicle in, it's another weight. It's another thing they're going to get taxed on. It's another thing you got to store. It's another thing that the mice are going to chew the damn wires because they make it out of soy wires or soy sheathing plastic. Yummy for them. Yummy. But yes, I would totally agree. We'll get through winter, see how things go. It's I don't know when the cutoff point should be, but like I said, by the time you start getting, you start getting car payments in there, you start getting a house payment in there, you start getting a lawnmower payment in there. All these things, they'll strap you down. You know what I mean? And then you can't say no. And that's what you want to have, the power. One thing I've learned from a guy that did landscaping, right? And he always said, the power of no. And I tell you what, that is the best thing where you can, I just went by the customer, the gate one that liked to waste my time. And I didn't tell him no on certain things, but I just told him, I said, that wasn't us. And that's why I was so happy, in a nutshell, for you when you were mentioning that the builder was the one that purchased the doors. And I'm like, hallelujah. I was like, you don't need a secretary. You don't need a girlfriend. You don't need a wife. You don't need, like, you're good, man. You're golden. Like, that's on the builder, man. Hey, man, like, I'm just labor only, man. So, like, I got to come back out here. It's going to be another $75 or whatever, what I mean? So, but that's not yours. Like, the vendor, can you take pictures, and how are you hauling it, and how'd you store it, and we didn't see it, you should have documented it when it came off the truck. They do all these weird things. Need a truck. You're up in Canada where it's freezing. You need a van. Get yourself a van. I think vans are cheaper, and unless you're going off-road all the time, get a van. I still believe the vans. That's all you do. That's all you do with a truck. Just try to look cool. You don't need to impress people. You need to make money. You need baby money. Whenever it's a little darker, maybe I can see these comments a little better. Whew. Might be a little quieter too. Whew. Looks like they got some fun. A little restock, eh? Oh, Service Spring. Good old Service Spring. All right, let's set you up here for a second so I can go through these. Need a drink of water. Cheers, by the way. Oh, it slipped on me, these remotes. Says, well, Dave, it's weird that you can go down to Home Depot, buy the Easy Set parts off the shelf in the States, just I have to get them special order up here. Yeah. That's why I'm saying maybe it's just better to, these are things, these are growing pains. These are growing pains. It's all good. It's all good. It's just, like I said, though, maybe you just need maybe this is when you figure out your threshold and you just say, you know what, I'm done. I don't got time to screw around with Easy Sets, or I don't have time. Or you just make it real clear to the customer, say, I'm not saying I can't do it, but by the time we add up my labor and my cost and my driving around, it's the same price. So either you can wait 2 to 3 weeks or a month or 2 months, whatever, or I can do a torsion, torsion conversion. The biggest thing is you're going to have to get springs. I don't know what the best way for you. Like, obviously this is like what we do. Order them already pre-cut from Service Spring, works out great. But I don't know why. Maybe somebody like Rusty or Rich B or somebody that does garage doors can put in the comments. But if I came across like 218 springs, I don't know why, I would try to order a 10-footer, and then I'd order some cones. And that way, I guess if I what I always thought was at least I can go back to my shop or my house or whatever, storage unit, you know, and that might be something for even Evan. I know a lot of places, they work out of storage units. You know what I mean? Kind of nice. I mean, it's you know, keep their stuff stashed there. And it's got access, and I don't know, kind of works kind of nice, I think, but cheap. Ooh, Evan, how long's the wait? Here's the fun part, Rich. Oh, man, they couldn't tell me. Fudge. Yeah, like, how are you supposed to deal with that? Like, how are you supposed to deal with that? And a customer, you know what I mean? And they're like, so, you know what I mean? I hated when customers called me. Hated it. Because it's like, you know, especially in that situation, like, I can already just imagine it. Like, they're just going to be like, so did they give you a time? And I'm like, why don't you take your happy butt down there and you deal with them? You know what I mean? Here's the number and everything. Here's how much you got to pay. You deal with them. You call them every day, because I know you're just sitting around watching Wheel of Fortune or Price is Right, and you just pick up the phone every day and, you know, did my stuff come in yet? You know, no. And I told you. Tanner and I are glad you said truck, Evan. Oh, man. Dave and Tony have been trying to take you to the dark side, aka Team Van. I mean, hey, you know what? Vans, I believe the vans are cheaper, right? Trucks are kind of like the John Deere, right? If you buy something that says John Deere, it's more money. You get a bigger billboard, more advertising. And if you're in really crappy weather, like if I probably, like when we were down in Arizona, they drove trucks down there, you know, probably okay. You know what I mean? But like when you're in crappy weather, like I can throw so much in a van. And like I said, this is just me, you know, I don't know how to say this, right? But maybe it's because I was working so hard, 14, 17 hours a day, trying to get this place off the ground, that when it becomes like 6, 7, 8, 10 o'clock at night, I don't know about you guys, but my ass is so freaking tired that I'm like, throw the shit in the van, throw all the cardboard, throw the ladder, shut the doors. We're doing 80 down the highway. You know what I mean? And I don't have to look back. But every time I had a truck, rearview mirror right here. Oh, what was that? What was that? You know, next, you know, my guy working with me. Oh, dude, that was the ladder. Son of a... He's looking. Oh, he goes, a semi just hit it, blew it to pieces. Don't worry about it now. And I'm like, fudge. Like, I'm just waiting for somebody to come on my ass and be like, pull over. I need your insurance. I'm calling the cops. You know, I mean, you know what I mean? Where the vans have been just so, you know, like I said, I don't even know how you would put, I guess you could put a torsion tube on a truck, but a lot of guys don't. The vans just, boom, baby, the vans. Like I said, bathroom time, sometimes you get somewhere it's kind of weird. Bathroom time's a lot easier. You can get out of your seat and actually walk in the back. I love that in the wintertime. For me, right? As I turn on the heat in my van, it's heating up my power tools because I hate to tell you guys, but these newer power tools, they're not the old DeWalt 18 volts, and sometimes they freak out if they're too cold. So I always like the fact that I could turn on the heat and just let my van run and let the heat trickle in there and stuff like that. That always worked out pretty good. I also like that I don't think most of the trucks do it, right? This was another thing. I'll just show you because we're here. We're here. We got a good conversation going. Whew. Ooh, man. I'm like, why is it so muggy in here? Shit. AC's not working, dum-dum. Let's take a look. Which one we got? I always like the GMC. GMC is always a good one. Whew. Oh, it's muggy. It's not used to being so muggy. I'm used to going in there and fresh air. It is muggy. This is what I like about the vans. They stay a little bit cleaner too, because they typically have rubber floors. Not that trucks can't have rubber floors. The only thing, but I found out a way to get around it, right, with the headsets. I got myself trucker headsets. So if you're trying to be like, well, I can't hear, because the vans can get noisy. But there is ways you can put paper, not paper, but cardboard in there, quiet them up, things like that. But this, oh, maybe it was already locked, I don't know. This has always been right here. Look at all that dirt. All that dirt. So when you get in your down here in this little trough, I think this van's ready for a cleaning. Other thing, what I've always loved about the vans, I don't know if this is locked. This is locked. This one's probably not. Oh. Right here. Shelter. Bathroom time. Right here. You can do that one. I can do this side. You can do that side. Corners. You know what I mean? You hop in here. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at all the stuff in here. This boy's got a lot of stuff. Look at all this stuff. You fit all this. And like I said, look at, you can't fit all this in a truck. You can't let this sit out in the weather. Look at that. Bada bing, bada boom. No, they work so good for us. Like I said, and they're cheap. You know what I mean? They're cheap to fix, cheap to maintain. If you can get something, I forget what year though. You gotta watch. Don't stay away from those 8-speeds if you're gonna go General Motors. 8-speed and 10-speed, stay away from those. So the older ones are a little bit better. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, I personally think the trucks are just to look cool. Unless you're, I mean, like if you got a diesel and you're pulling, like probably like Tanner. Tanner deals some big boy stuff. He's gonna need a diesel, but I guess he's got a van that's gonna be a diesel too if he still got it. But light duty, residential, got a huge billboard. I just don't see nothing wrong. The vans are great. 2-wheel drive, less components. Whew, man, it feels better out here than it does in there. That's sad. Hopefully it'll come soon. You should have Dave send you them, plus they would be cheaper. Oh, the easy set stuff. I don't think we got any here because normally you can just go to the old box store, and we just don't normally deal with a lot of them. We deal with the TorqueMasters. You know, we got the TorqueMasters up here, right there. I don't see no easy sets sitting here right off the top of my head. Package of them anyways. Whew. 42 for an easy set. Wire is much cheaper than 300. Something stupid off Amazon. Oh man, yeah. 26. Holy cow, man. I'm surprised Evans is as cheap as that though. I'm surprised his aren't like 80 something if they're 26 here. Some point I need to get real logo done. Ooh, hey, there's I don't know if anybody's ever used them. I'll try to take a screenshot, Evan. There's this place, but I've been kind of thinking about them too a little bit. They kind of just got some uppity stuff, you know what I mean? And they advertise on Facebook. I think it was on Facebook. And I just thought, man, if I was starting a business, I was thinking I might entertain this company. So I'll take a screenshot and send it to you. That's American currency. The minivans work great. There is a bigger company that actually uses minivans. You know, those size service, I typically like to go 25. I really like 3500s because you will be really surprised how much you just start tinkering, you know, nuts and bolts and stuff. You start adding stuff to it, and that van can get really heavy real quick. By the time you put a ladder rack, ladders on it, all that kind of stuff. So, and then what I liked about it was it leaves room for us to upgrade if you're ever going to get into commercial. You know, if you're not going to ever get into commercial, then you're probably kind of okay. But see, the thing is sometimes those vans, even some residential, when we got some builders that had like 4 10x10s or something, sometimes we got to haul a trailer, you know what I mean? So, you know, in those vans, now, if you're going to be a long distance loser, I'd say, yeah, man, you better stick minivan so it's good on gas. But if you're going to stay 5 Mile famous, I just think those are very good. I'd either go with the 5. Is it the 5.3 or 5? I think it's 5.3, right? Is the Chevy, or a 6-liter. The 4.8 does pretty good too. The 4.8 does fine, but it's just, it does good. Sounds like somebody's here. See if we have company. No company? Darn, I guess no company. Could always check out those fancy cameras. What do you got here? If you see the mom and pop place near you, slacking now is the time to get serious about Lowe. Advertise local too. Ooh, yeah, that's true. Oh, it's so hot in here. How do you turn this TV on? Why is this TV off? I hate that TVs. I wish things just had switches that just stay on forever. Oh my gosh. All kinds of stuff here. What am I supposed to do? I just want the thing to stay on. To stay on TV. Yeah, I think it is important though to find a decent good logo, brand awareness, so people know where to go to and stuff. But I just like this company because they build some hype. I'm not for sure. I thought maybe my brother-in-law used them because he comes up with some pretty interesting stuff for some of his businesses, and so I seen it. I just thought, wow, that looks real up and new, and it just kind of gets you that excited, right? Right, that's right. That's why he don't have a left or right. Sure, right. That's right. Mom helps with the books. Dad's out in the field with me on big jobs. Started throwing him a couple bucks now. All right, Dad likes that. Is it Jessica? I don't know if it says Jessica. It says hi, hello, Evan. That would be 39 Canadian. Started doing job for builder. They have to send another bottom section. The new one they sent is dented outside now. Yep. And so I'd kind of like to hear Rusty's insight on this. And Evan, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because if this is the builder, right? The builder's all his product, right? You didn't purchase the door and it wasn't your fault. I mean, right? It's another service call, right? It should be another service call. Or are you going to do it out of the kindness of your heart because you want this builder? Just saying, you know what I mean? Probably if it was me, you might be able to work them a little bit. Say, hey, I'm not going to charge you a full, depending on what it is. Or you do charge them a full service call. Say, look, I got to come back out. It's going to be another hour or two of my time. You know, it wasn't me. This wasn't my fault. You know, and this is also why it's a good reason, too, that if you see anything before you even touch it, right, if it's already at the job site, document it. Take pictures. Take a video. You know what I mean? Say, hey, like, this is how it was before I even opened it. I already see dents on here. I don't know if this is going to be inside or not, but just because he might need them too, right, to send to the vendor, depending on how stuff's being dropped off or how it's being handled. You know, it's always kind of not fun. Rich, that is what was before taxes. When I do get a building, he says I'll probably be in the industrial warehouse area in town. Try to see what the rent or lease look like. There you go. It's a good idea. You know, and make sure you check too with the township or whoever, you know, and that's just why it's kind of nice. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to figure that out with the tenant, you know, a little bit and say, hey, that was like for here, you know, there was so many loopholes. You know, like I said, this building was nothing. It was just dirt in here, just walls, a roof, and dirt. And I remember the township, you know, I ended up having to take a $30,000 loan out to finish the building because I just wanted concrete floors in the office because it's just a bunch of dirty men in there. And they were like, that's not a finished floor. And I'm like, it's concrete. It's finished to me. It ain't a dirt floor. Nope. It has to be painted. It has to be stained. It has to be tiled. It has to be carpet. And I'm like, otherwise we can't approve your electrical. You know what I mean? There's just all these like loopholes, man. Just these things that are like, you know, and at the time, I'm like yabba dabba do, man. Like I gotta go out. I gotta go do this estimate. Like I gotta go do this job. You know, like, yeah, I don't got time for all this crap. So that's why what I'm saying is like, that's why I'm talking about sometimes like with the house, all that stuff. That's why all you gotta do, man, is think like Rich Dad Poor Dad, right? That's all it is. That's all it is, man. Asset puts money in your pocket. Liability takes money out of your pocket. So you got a car payment, that's a liability. Unless you're using it and it's making way more money, well, now it becomes an asset, right? Not unless you got a house. Let's say your wife's run a daycare, right? One hell of a successful daycare out of it. And she's pulling double or triple whatever the money is for the house payment. Well, now the house is an asset, right? But if you're just living in it, it's a liability. Got to pay electric bill just for you to live in it. Got to pay the water bill, the sewer bill, the garbage bill. Now you got to fix the house depending on what it is. All these things cost money. You know what I mean? Just like, look at what I'm dealing with. I got an HVAC. It's costing money. You know, I don't feel so bad though. This place is done as well. CC, what's up, CC? Glad you're here. Life is good, still breathing. Every day is a gift, man. Not 6 feet under. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, he's not one that belongs here. I've owned off to work I go. I owe. Off to work I go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's funny. I like that. That's a good one. It's like I want to get a t-shirt with that one. Da-da-da-da. Building and a field employee and office person will cost you over $100,000 a year, and you got to pay that before you make anything. As owner, knowing overhead price is so important. It is. It is. It definitely is. I'm gonna have some scraps. I'm more busy, which is funny because she used to get mad at me for refusing overtime at my day job. Nah, you're building a garden, dude. You're building a garden. The women will never see it. My wife, I love my wife. I love you, wife. If you're ever watching, wife. She don't watch, so I'm good. But they just don't get it. They don't get it. That's why typically men are the hunters. You know what I mean? We got to go out and kill stuff. Now, hopefully you can drag something back and they can process it. You know what I mean? Help you with it and be assistants or take care of your offspring, right? That's kind of the thing, right? But dude, it's tough being a man. You know what I mean? It's tough being a woman. The world will eat you up. And so what I'm always trying to convey to everybody is that just, you got to understand everything you bring, you know, and it's real easy. It's real easy, man. I've done it numerous of times. It's super easy. You know, you start making some money, you're like, well, but I'm busy. So I got to get, dude, the rain will come. The rain will come. Do you got the money stashed for the rainy days? Because most people don't. You know what I mean? And I wish there would have been somebody, like I said, I was reading books, you know, Business for Dummies back when I didn't have this power to have this community and have all you guys to talk to, which is great. But, you know, you start making money, and, hey, you know what? We could afford that nice house. You know, we could afford that nice vehicle. We could afford we should get another this, and we should get another, you know, well, then all of a sudden, economy tanks out, right? And that wasn't your choice. You weren't the one that wanted that to happen. You know, things like that kind of happen. So that's why I'm always like, to me, it's always, you got to take care of the garden, man. The garden needs attention, man. We got to eat. You know, I'm hungry. So, you know, you just, and it's tough because, you know, you got to imagine too, right? I mean, when you're, you know, When you're, it's a very stressful situation, right? But when you're self-employed, you have so many more options, right? Because you're getting money before it's taxed. You use that money, right? So, when you know how it is when we work, right? We're all given, we got 20 to 50% of our money already goes poof, it goes bye-bye. So that's why, but it's tough. But what I'm saying is, go slow. Just maybe a storage unit, just a little storage unit, $75 a month, $100, whatever. Maybe it's some of the young bucks out there, right? You still hang out with mom and dad or whatever. They're cool with it. They like a little extra. We're so programmed. Other countries don't do this. When you think about it, right? Think about how it works, right? Think about it, how it works for the government. Once you understand how the government works, life just becomes, oh, aha. You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I was a king, dude, I want you to all have a house. You know what I mean? Hell yeah. Because every time, now that's a roof, that's windows, that's pavement, concrete, yard, landscaping, fertilizer, and all that stuff, everything is taxed. You know what I mean? But if they're all under one roof, and they're working as a team, oh shit. Well, that's only one roof, and they're going to work as a team. They don't have to hire it out because they got their whole family. Son of a, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's a weird mindset, and it ain't getting no easier for people. I'm already building stuff, for my kids, that I got certain properties that I'm kind of going like, I don't expect them to leave right away. Not the whole like, oh, I'm 18, I'm, poof, kick them out the door. I look at this stuff. I've been through this stuff. I know this stuff's like super expensive. It's ridiculously expensive. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And then when you look at it and you think about how it works for the gov, and then it works for the banksters, wow, it works really damn good for them, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Sell a house, flip a house, right? Boom, 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 right? Taxes go up every time. It's a lot of money. Garage doors, I'll work till I collapse. Day job, work just hard enough to get fired. Well, like I said, it's always, you always want to leave on good terms. And that's why, I know people think I'm crazy, but that's why I put it out there for the van. You know what I mean? The van, I worked, man. And like I said, I had the trucks. I had the big old diesels. I bought this Arizona thing, this insert that I thought would make my life a lot better, right? That I had to use a fork truck to put it in, right? So then, because what I was trying to do is I was just trying to eliminate having two vehicles, right? Because I was like, well, it's like right now, right? It's like right now. Those service vehicles out there ain't making no money over the whole weekend. They're just sitting out there cooking in the sun, depreciating, not making a dime, just costing money. But they still got insurance on them. They still got to pay plates and tabs on them. So I bought an insert, thinking, oh, I'll take it out on the weekends, and then, you can use it. And but then you got to have a forklift. Then you got to have somewhere to store the forklift. Then you got to put fuel in the forklift. Then you got the forklift worked on, and then the forklift puked out a motor. And then it was more money to fix the motor, so I scrapped it, and then I realized I probably should have kept it afterwards because, well, they're expensive, and it was simple. And the new ones are complicated, and I still don't have a forklift. So I should have just fixed the old one. But anyways, what I was talking about with the vans, that's why I expressed the vans, because if you're saying, oh, I'm gonna work, well, I did, and like I said, the trucks, you know how many things I lost out the trucks? You know how many times I tried it, guys. I tried taking a crap in a bucket in a truck, and it was miserable. It stunk. I had to be in the back seat with the seat up, and I was up so high, I just felt like I'm almost like, my lower half's like saying hi. I'm like watching everybody go by, and I'm like, I gotta go to the bathroom, and I'm like, this ain't fun. It wasn't fun. I've had better experiences in vans. So, and like I said, if you work your hiney off, you get those days because you don't know how it's gonna go. You just gotta take it. Man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so much easier to throw stuff in the vehicle, shut the doors, and go, I'll handle it in the morning, because the morning I can come in early. I can work late if I want tonight, but I'm going to huff it down the road. I got to get my employee back or whatever's going on, my helper back, because he's running late for some kind of life event. And you don't have to strap nothing down. You don't have to weigh nothing down. And you just roll, baby. Did you, Kevin Springs? Ooh, I did not. I'm sure. The only thing is, Rich, and I might lose you in the comments because I don't know how far I'm behind here, is do they come all like beautiful labeled? I don't know if I get one of these out. I don't think I can. No, I don't think I can. Anyways, do they come all beautiful? I can grab one over here, maybe. We did order another door. We did get another door from Kevin. So, but these ones, right? These are right? 218, good number. Right, it comes so beautiful, the line. Mwah. And then it comes with your length on there. Oh, snap. So that's nice. 218, what is this? This is a, remember you always put it up to your belly button. Just pointing right, so it's a right hand. It's gotta go back in the right hand bucket. Probably look, this is one of Kevin's springs right here. Oh yeah. Okay, here's a Kevin spring. They probably come like this. This is probably it right here. You can tell it's a smaller diameter, 1.75 inches. So the 218. Yeah, 1 point. It says right there, 1.75. And it is, I can't see it backwards. It is 29. Ooh, it's even got LW, left hand. Let's put it up to the belly button. Yep, it's a left hand. Son of a gun. His might be nicer. It's even got line. Nice. Very nice. I think we did order some, I don't know where they're at, though. Oh, here they are. Holy snap, man. These look like there should be fireworks. Those look familiar, Rich B? Ordered a box. No wonder the wife said something. The wife tries, goes, those things were $30. And I'm like, $30? I'm thinking like a little box. Jesus. Holy cow. This thing is full of nails, dude. Oh my gosh. This is great. Oh my gosh. No wonder $30. But the problem was we were thinking, oh, in case we sold one to a customer, give them a box so they had some for their trip. But my God. Holy cow. Ay, caramba. No wonder it's $30. Ay, ay, ay. That's all good, though. Hey, I'd rather have more than not enough. Evan, what if you had an employee who did that to you? Ooh, Rusty, getting deep. Rusty. Got 14 likes. Thank you guys for likes, too. That's deep. Rusty, tell him this isn't working out. It's affecting the culture. You know, like, hey, look elsewhere. Rusty, that's a big F. Rusty, you'll probably pay them more than I make at my day job. Anyway. Well, it's hard to say. I can tell you what. I did it for many years, my business partner. I worked, 2 other jobs just to basically support him for the daytime. So it's tough. It's tough. But like I said, I was expanding the top and the roots weren't there. You know what I mean? It was like the tree was getting top heavy, and it'll kill you, man. It kills you. So that's why buy in the bag. 100 nails. I can buy them smaller. Rich is saying I can buy them smaller, I think. Evan. There you go. Need a few clones. Heck yeah, man. Sign me up too, would you? Rich is dream big. You pay truck American. The bigger the dream, the more math matters. I can't disagree with that. That's probably the truth, because man, stuff can get thin on you real easy, especially when you bring in, like I said, I've said it before, right? It's like, first time we ever did $1 million, it was over $1 million. I'm just like, hey, man. And it's like you start looking at your QuickBooks profit and loss. You're like, where's the money? You're like, and you're like, well, the vendor made a lot of money. Okay, the employees made their money. Gas company, the Saudis made their money. Maintenance, the mechanic. No wonder the mechanic brought me donuts on a Saturday when I'm out cutting the grass. Oh yeah, you're my best customer. Well, I wonder why. Holy crap. So, and that's why, like I said, everything is compounding behind when you're sitting there just chasing the cheese when you don't realize how close the cat is. You know what I mean? Rusty, I'm still raising my prices even though we are at different stages. I'm very sure we have similar visions for our respective business. I'm not entirely sure. Sometimes my walkies will overheat with, they are down 2 bars. Ooh. Holy cow. Losing the 5G. Hopefully we're not. Tony's got a nice van with that layout, that minivan. He does actually have a nice van set up. Hopefully we're all good right now. I see we got 14, so we got 14 likes. Thank you guys for the likes too. Rich Tony also has nice truck. Ooh, true. You need big stuff. You need a service truck, flat deck, toolboxes. All good? Sweet. Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it. Big stuff. You need a service truck with toolboxes and bottles for torches. Yeah, I don't know what you would... I mean, that's like big commercial. That's almost like dock plate stuff. You know what I mean? There has been times when I wish I would have had a truck, right? But none of the guys would like... Nobody on here would like this truck. I want one with like a 12-foot bed, like a flat bed, like a stake truck or whatever they call it, right? So you could actually haul doors on it. You know what I mean? Flat, you know what I mean? That's the only time. But like I said, everything's so elevated. So I mean, and you know what I mean? It's just there's typically not situations where, like for us, we just don't need, I can't think of, once in a while, but those situations can be handled either with a little more help, a little more labor. If you're, if you need 4-wheel drive, that's about the only thing. But like I said, most of the time, 3/4 of the time to half the time, you're never using it. You know what I mean? You're not using it. It's just parts wearing down. And listen to old Scotty Kimler will tell you. I don't know if Scotty came back from vacation yet or not yet. What's it? We'll do torch for cutting springs. Ooh, that's true. Cutting springs, probably. Yeah, that is true. The mini torches, you can use it. Cutting springs, making brackets. Oh, that's right. Rusty uses a grinder. It's way quicker. That's what I thought was standard Rusty. No, see, like we don't use. See, like we like to tip the flare up too, on it. So we got our little kit. We got the bench looking great. God dang, guys, it's looking awesome. Anyways, we got this little torch kit. You can put that in your van or your truck. Got yourself a vise. Boom. Little torch kit. That's how we do it. You know what I mean? Can you do it with a grinder? Yeah. But we like to flare that tip up. You bend it up a little bit. It just goes on. Or if you got bigger stuff like this, like I don't know how you make that. How do you make that with a grinder? You know what I mean? So that's why torches, like butter. Yeah, that's true. I already fixed opener. Oh, the kindness of my heart, because installer was a fool. Yeah, they didn't put the freaking washers on the tensioner for the chain. Ooh, on both openers. Oof. I told him that he needed to charge for it. Like you said, college isn't free. Oh, I see 99. What is this? Is it we've loved? Loved? I'm saying it wrong. I so apologize. Got a couple smiley faces and an upside down one. That's so cool. Dave already told me college. He says you can get free college up here if you are below certain IQ points. Oh, ask me how I know. What's up? That's pretty sweet. I understand how the government works. It doesn't. There you go. That's true. Was this GG? GG. Look at what does it say here? It says, look at that, Dave. He says you made extra 5. Yeah. Well, you forgot Uncle Sam takes it. So it's $3.98. Somebody takes your money. Always. There's always blowback. Always. That's why I always like to stay small and keep it all. You know what I mean? Do little increments. You do advertising, try a little bit. You do this, do a little bit. You know what I mean? Because there's going to be blowback, and you're going to learn the algorithms. Oh, Dave, my very first job. Ooh, first job? What is it? What are you doing tomorrow? What do you got? What's your first job? Is it broken spring? Is it photo eyes? Is it broken wire? Wall button? Whoa, power's getting low. We might have to jump in the truck. Maybe we'll get a little AC in there. Right. That's what I'm thinking. What kind of job? Christ, forgive you. Ooh, it's got a little thing in here. Nice. Evan, weather stripping. Okay, so weather stripping and roller replacement. Ooh, nice. Should be putting in sign mount this week and replacing a 9x7. Ooh, Rusty, are you cutting the ceiling? The customer gave the go ahead. Ooh, Drake. I keep hearing. I was listening to a guy and he was telling me some of those openers are kind of a pain. Those wall mounts, those LiftMasters, are a little bit of pain to program. And I guess the new wall buttons or new controllers that they're coming out with are even more fun. Very nice. How are those side mounts? I just getting started and really wish I had more clients. Boy, you wish. Maybe it'll come one day. Burke haven't put one in. He says, only done service on older models so far. I see. Hope it goes smooth for you. Depending on the area and how much competition you have, it'll be a slow start, and then you'll be where I am now and started getting busy out of nowhere, and you're not sure if that's your normal or if it's a fad. That is true. That is true. The garage door business is very... the garage door business is very up and down. That's why Uncle Dave's always trying to tell you guys, hey, you know what I mean? Go make your active money. Hey, I still do it today. Go make your active money, but take that money and be smart with it. Instead of buying toys and crap with it, go buy assets. You know what I mean? Go buy stuff that makes, and then it'll smooth that out so much. And then basically when you're 40, like me, you'll be retired. And then you can pretty much say no to everything. And you just do kind of what you want to do. So it's a lot of hard work. But like I said, I could go a lot faster. I could have easily done it by 30, 35. Easily. If I would have known what I know now. You know what I mean? But you got to be thinking, you got to get those, figure out your systems. You got to surround yourself with good people. You got to, there's a whole learning curve. You got to think about, how do I make money while I sleep at night? That's a big one. And then you also, it's a lot of planning, right? Make yourself list. When you're going to those jobs, bring a list. Hey, here's my residential. I'm doing a 9x7. Make your list. Oh, I forgot. I want to bring a broom next time. I want to bring a blower next time. I want to bring wire cutters next time. I want to bring knee pads, whatever, right? So you can be more efficient or faster, or have it on the truck or van, and just don't get caught up. Just don't get caught up in all the noise, on the TV and your friends and your family. Your friends and family can be your worst enemies sometimes, because they can push you into a lot of stuff that you really shouldn't be doing at the moment. You should be focused on making that baby money, because once you make baby money, it's everything is so much smoother. Everything is so much smoother. With money, it buys freedom. It's a tool. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it's like my kid the other day says, well, Dad, why do we, something. I said, well, here, I said, let me give you this washer. I had a washer in the pop, can holder or whatever. I said, here, let me give you this washer. And I said, go in there and see if you can get a pop. They won't take that. I said, right. I said, it's a belief. I said, they believe in the power of this green stuff. I said, it's just monopoly money. I said, but they believe in it. I said, so, but you bring that in, they don't believe in that. That washer ain't worth a drink. I can't take that. Even though that washer, maybe it's made out of gold. You know what I mean? And it's 10 times or whatever. You know what I mean? Garage door guy, what's up? Big fan of yours channel. Awesome, man. Glad you're here. Like I said, if there's anything you can add, comment, email me, text me, whatever, man. Like I said, I love these kind of things. I'm so happy. We got Rich B, we got Rusty, I got Cousin Evan. I love these things. You know what I mean? I love the community. I love that we can brainstorm off each other. And like I said, even if I believe different, I'm glad you're here. You know what I mean? Because, one way doesn't fix everything. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, and everybody's got their ideas and their areas and their different ways of doing things. I'm still learning to this day, and that's what's fun about it. Is you can go as high as you want, you can go as low as you want, you can go as medium as you want, long as you ain't got that baggage. What Rich say on that again? Was it off to work I go or something? Because I what does it say, Rich? You have to put in there again. You gotta have to text me that, dude. I feel like I gotta make a shirt for that. I didn't even take a screenshot. Make sure you text me what you wrote there. That was pretty good. I have the RJ070 jack shaft. Is it working good? Question, how much do garage door people make in a day? Because I'm just curious, since I've been working for a company when I was 18. So what do you mean? Let me see here. Just garage door. Rusty's our accountant for this kind of stuff. I'm curious, since I worked. What's a quick question? How much garage door people make? So I don't know if we're talking kind of hourly. I mean, sometimes it can range anywhere from $20 to $50, or like a truck. Depending on a truck, they can range 12 to 15 to 16,000. I'm sorry, not 50. That'd be that much. 1,200 to 1,600. 1,800. It can just depend on the jobs that they're doing for the day, for the money that the truck brings in, things like that. And if you're hourly, depends on what they There's some that are salary, and that works out pretty good because it takes a lot of volatility out of the business, which is nice because you're going to learn in business. Volatility is like your worst. Now, there's a threshold. Everybody's in different levels, right? We hit a level one time where we got into, what was it, March? It's April, January, February, March. I think it was February or March, somewhere in there, right? The 1 year we're cooking here. And, we had it was over $10,000 with four trucks, four or five with a company vehicle. We had over $10,000 in repairs. It was oh my gosh. It's like it's time for a new vehicle. Where these vehicles are just nickel and diming us. We got to do something here. So, but like I said, would I encourage it for a new guy? No. I would not encourage it for a new guy. I'd rather have two older vehicles. If you can use them, however you use them, and that way, if one breaks down, even if you just don't have insurance on it because you don't have payments on it, you know what I mean? But if they're somewhat clean, I'm more of a mechanic kind of guy. I don't like dealing with rust. Rust is a lot of work. But I'd rather just deal with, especially something nowadays with the technology, find something that's reliable, something that's got a proven good transmission, good motor, and just go that route. Because most of the time, like I said, for us, the customers don't care, man. It's just how fast can you get here and what's the price. That's all that matters. You know what I mean? I've been doing a lot of advertising. Even got to take up Uncle Dave's idea. Bandit signs. The bandit signs work great, man. And post them around. I'm telling you, it comes in waves. It's not like a super, but it'll just, you know what I mean? It kind of Like people see them. I think they kind of touch more reality because we live in such a digital society. So people see them and they're like for me, right? I always see them and I'm always like, oh, power washing. Like obviously that guy wants some business. I mean, and obviously he's got to be somewhat local. You know, where like I'm getting so irritated now because like if you go on like Google, right, you got all these people that are sponsored. So I'll do a little searching or something, right? You click on them. They're 3-4 hours away. I know where that phone number is. Like, what is the point of calling this person? Like, so I don't know if the average person sees some of that sometimes. And like I said, you just never know how people, you know, I've had vehicles, they've called from vehicles. I mean, more is better, right? I mean, if you can do radio, you can do the signs, the big signs. Those cost a lot of money, but the bandit signs, at least they're cheap. They're cheap, and you can put up as many. You start getting busy. You don't put up so many. You know, you slow down. You know, whatever. It's just they're just a nice way that you're in control. You already paid the money. You know what I mean? It's no advertising that keeps whacking your credit card every month, getting you for a couple $1,000. Garage door guy says the limit. There it is. I owe off to work. I might sure take a screenshot of this. There we go. That way in case. Oh, change the background again. What happened? None. I love it, man. I love it. I owe. It's off to work. I go, man. I don't know why that resonates with me. It resonates. I feel that, man. Because I tell you, it's just that's, you know, it's like, oh well, we're doing good, man, babe. We can get that house, and oh, I know you're going to work, so we really should get you a more dependable car. You know what I mean? And then it's like a vortex, man. It's just all of a sudden, you know, and then, well, you know, we're supposed to go on that vacation with our friends, and, you know, well, Johnny's hoping we get a boat, you know, and, well, now I got a boat, I probably should get a storage unit. Yeah, storage unit. That's a great idea. You know what I mean? So now that's not making no money, you know, where it's like, worry about the system, man. It's like that whole McDonald's, right? It's that whole McDonald's. None of you, including me, none of you can make a better system than McDonald's. None of you. But I about damn near bet y'all can make a better hamburger than McDonald's. Probably healthier too and better for you. But can you make a better system? And hey, we know what McDonald's is really about real estate behind the scenes, right? I still gotta watch that video. I forget what it's called. It talks about that guy eating the burger and stuff. It looks like a good video. I've watched little clips on YouTube. YouTube University. Oh, it works good. I also got a new a year ago. Ooh, did I miss something? There it says limit. Looks good. Also get new doors. My old one was the Amar Stratford. That's the cheapest one, isn't it? Or is it like the Lincoln or something? No, Lincoln might be better. I forget. They always had their weird names. It rattled a lot. A lot of noise. Now I have CHI insulated door. Now it runs smooth. Oh, runs smooth. CHI. Some people really don't like the CHI. I've dealt with a few. I never had anything against CHI yet. I have a video of it closing if you want to see it. Heck yeah, man. Put it up here. Well, I can't really post it on here, but let us know where to go. And another video of it opening and closing too. Unclone. Ooh, clone. Also, should I get a Genie 2128 for my Chamberlain door? B20 says, or what would you recommend? What opener I would get? I don't know. I guess Genie came out with a brand new model through, I think it's at Home Depot. I thought about checking it out. It's got LED light on. I know the models they got so many darn numbers nowadays. It's a B something 1 or 75 something. I'm sure if you looked up through the Home Depot, but maybe want to try it out. I heard, you know, crappy part with Genies is the rails normally are kind of junky. It's a belt drive. That's the only bad part, but and then I don't know if those ones you can also change the speed. I didn't realize with the screw drives they have different options. There's a slow, medium, and fast for how fast the door runs. I didn't know that. I just learned that. Linear. Ooh, Linear. Rusty likes Linear. Can't say we had a lot of callbacks for Linear. We don't deal with Linear anymore because we don't have a salesperson anymore for the Linears. Buy them. Who do you buy them from, Dave? Is it? Well, we used to have a rep. The rep, he retired or whatever, quit. So we don't do Linear anymore. Genie just comes through Wayne Dalton, which is easy. If we want LiftMaster, we should go to Kevin. And then we can go to Clopay, but they're normally they're pricey. Can't go off a phone number. People move, have mobile numbers. I have customers with Cali numbers. Ooh, that's true. That is true. I have the new door on my channel, the one with the RJ070. The founder is the Mickey D story. I know I gotta still see. I still gotta watch that video. I don't even know what, because that was the founder is a Mickey D story. Your bandit signs, you like the bandit sign? I don't think I got any with me. I took the one that was in here before. Those things work pretty good, man. Like I said, the bandit signs work pretty good. I just like the fact, it's kind of like the whole, like, you guys know how this goes if you got bills, right? Like, we just use electric, right? Electric's on, just use electric. I don't know what the bill's going to be, but we'll pay the bill because we don't want electric getting shut off, right? But when it comes to the bandit sign, it's kind of like propane sometimes to me, right? Or gas in your car, right? I like that. I go to the gas station. I like paying for my gas. And then I look at a gas gauge and I decide how I want to use it. Do I want to drive around just aimlessly and waste a bunch of time or gas? No, I can watch my gas gauge. Wow, gas gauge going down. I'm doing a lot of driving. I should slow down. That's what I like about the bandit sign. I'm in control. I paid for them. I do what I want with them. But when it comes to this advertising sometimes, it's just, how it is. And then they get you signed up and then you try to unsign and you gotta give us a written form, or you signed up for a 6-month contract and you're like, yeah, but I didn't realize the cough syndrome was going to come around and shut my business down for 2 months. We're sorry. You're just going to have to pay it. All that kind of stuff. Where the band signs, I'm in control. I paid you guys. I do what I want. I want to put more out. I put less out. I put a little more. You got to get that stapler. Did you see that stapler? Gotta get that stapler, man. Also, have you seen the new LiftMaster opener? I've been seeing some of the remotes and keypads. I'm not real impressed. Like I said, hey. No hard feelings here. No hard feelings. Better take a drink for this one. I don't even know what to say, man, because, I think here's the thing. LiftMaster's got certain spots, right? There's just certain applications that you need a LiftMaster or a Chamberlain. But in my opinion, I think Chamberlain, I think they're just like, they're going down just like General Motors. Those two were in cahoots with each other, right? And they're just looking out for profit and the shareholders. The shareholders. They don't care about the little man. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care. All they care about this. How do we make more profit? How do we make more profit? They're not concerned about your business. They're not concerned that they don't care that you got to go back 3 times for service calls. They don't care. They don't care. They just don't. And that's why it's a really tough business right now for everything. For everything. You see all the General Motor, Ford's got the highest recalls right now. But can you imagine? Dude, our hands are freaking tied. Dude, I'm not just an endless bank. You know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do? So, yeah, their keypad, I think, looks ugly. And it has no cover. Why is it no cover? Probably because it saves them half a penny, so they don't have to put a cover on the thing. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's not some, like, you've been having problems with your keypad sticking, right? And I'm like, yeah. Well, we got rid of the cover. Oh. Thank God you got rid of the cover. Now it's going to be so much easier in Michigan with ice and snow and water. No, they did it because they're like, you know, it's like once you learn that they don't want this stuff to last, the planned obsolescence is real. Oh my gosh, man, it's just getting sad. It's so sad. Also, have you seen? It says, like the 8.7 was say 5, and the R81 650. Oh, who do you buy the Bandit signs from? So, whoosh, Kevin's in the house. What's up, Kevin, man? Hope you're doing good. Hope you didn't get too offended. I know you're a LiftMaster. You're a LiftMaster guy. I'm just saying. Just saying. Like I said, they got their place. It's not that I say I'm never going to use them again. That's just me. I just see the new stuff they're coming out with, and I thought it was going to be more simpler. Somebody said, oh, it's going to be more simpler. And I was like, yay, let's make it simpler. Hell no. It looks like it's... They threw the baby out with the bathwater. So the signs, I get them from our print shop because we got that logo on them, a weird logo, and I don't want to mess with that. But if you can find something online or, you know, whatever, you can do something, you know, it's probably, they weren't really that much more, you know, from our sign company. That's why y'all should be finding, if you can find a good sign company or whatever, they'll do your, you know, like if you need banners, magnet stickers, you need, they're golden, man. They're golden, and they're dying. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of them sticking around. We used to be with one company. That place is gone now. So we're with this place, and this place is doing a really good job. They're actually probably better. The other one was more like they were still stuck with making like the old print papers, you know, with like the stuff you rip off the side. Remember when you go to a shop and it spits out paper and the guy rips the stuff off and hands you a receipt that's yay big, yellow. That's kind of what they were. Garage door guy says I miss the old LiftMaster Chamberlain products. The old printers are more reliable. Yes, they were. They were, man. I was a LiftMaster fanboy, dude. I don't know why I had this weird inclination in my brain. I just kept thinking, like, I thought maybe I should try some different, because I didn't want to turn into that old man. I remember because, you know, when I was thinking when I was younger, probably when I was about Evan's age, I just kept thinking, I thought, I don't want to go down this road where I'm just so closed-minded, right? Because I'm sure you've all had somebody in your life. I better get you on power here in a minute. Where, you know what I mean? Like, Grandpa, this is how you do it. And you're like, Grandpa, there's a better way. This is how you do it. You know, I didn't want to be that guy. And so I just, I started opening my mind because I just thought, man, I'm starting to have problems. Man, we're starting to get callbacks. We're having photo eyes that aren't working. And it's like they're changing their model. And now we're having problems. And then what really got me, when they got rid of my ATS. That was the straw, man. When they got rid of my ATS opener that I was using for my Amish, that I could set the limits, I could program that thing, I could leave it there for 10 years, a nuclear bomb could have gone off, and I knew damn well you could plug that thing in, and it was going to have mechanical limits that was going to run and be just the way it needed to be, and the remote was going to work. Nowadays, I don't know. You unplug it, you leave it plugged in for 2 hours, you can't do a half an hour, you can't do it off a generator. It's going to... I don't know. They got ghosts in them. You know what I mean? And I don't like ghosts. I'd rather have a flat tire on a car all day than ever have a ghost with an engine problem, right? A little shudder. What the hell is that? Is that the motor? Or is that the transmission? Do I take it in? You take it in. We can't find nothing wrong with it. Great. You know what I mean? Just wasted all this time, right? Like I said, rather have a flat tire. And that's what the old LiftMaster were, just the gears. The big thing was the gears. You know, yep, gear shot. You want me to put another? Well, I got all the remotes. I'd put another gear in it. You'll probably get another 10, 15 years out of it. No problem. And that's what you would do. You put a gear in it. They get another, you know, they never call you back. It just worked. That's how I liked it. It just worked. Just worked. Got power? Power? Anybody? Maybe I'll sit down for a second. We'll see. So, yeah, I used to love LiftMaster, man. I had nothing but good things. But now, can't say I feel the same. You know what I mean? But like I said, is it like I'm going to turn them, you know, say, oh, we'll never use them or anything? No. You know, but I'm thinking I think they just got too, I think they're gotten too big. I think they don't care about, you know, I think it'd be nice if not LiftMaster, but if PowerMaster made some residential. All I know, they make the commercial ones, as far as I know. But there we go. I turn on the OAC for a second here. Hopefully that's not too loud for you. Whew. Getting toasty. But yes, the old LiftMasters, no problems, man. No problems. Just put them in and walk away. Didn't ever think about it. Just run and run. And it's like, why do they keep changing these models? That's got to tell you something. Older ones were more reliable, newer ones, and feel like Chamberlain lifts are being way cheaper now. Totally agree. Totally agree. Absolutely. Totally agree. And hey, look at, here's the thing, right? I'm not like, oh, Genie's just so much better. No, they're the least dirty shirt in the dirty laundry basket. You know what I mean? That's all. That's all. And they could change too. And it might be we have to go to Marantec. It might be we have to switch over to Lanier. It just, there's no like, what did I hear recently? They said back in the day, the reason things were built, the fridges and microwaves and stoves and all that, they were trying to build a brand. Think about that, right? You know how it is. Like, if you ever had anybody that worked or whatever, or like an old grandparent worked at a shop, I mean, they took so much pride. You know what I mean? You remember how, like, you'd be in a shop and you knew this guy, like, knew his stuff. He knew how to run that machine, he knew what to grease and everything because he's been there 20 plus years. And then nowadays, it's like, everywhere you go, you're like, well, how long you worked here? They're like, yeah, my name's Jeff. I've been here 3 hours. And you're like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know if this is all right, but oh my gosh. So they're trying to build a brand. And nowadays it's like they are just trying to please the shareholders. It's like they could care less. They don't there's some good documentary stuff on there. Who's the one guy, the car guy, the car, I forget what it is, but he's got that guy that was engineer from GM. That explains it all right there. How there's engineers that want to, but the bean counters won't let them. Close them. Oh, that's kind of weird that Rusty says. He says everyone around here leaves the cover up, but I'm assuming open maybe because I've seen always a lot of commercial covers were open too, and I'm always like, why don't they shut the damn cover? Like, there's dust and crap getting in there. This message is held for review. What's up, Tony? Ooh, got to see Kevin's car. Nice. Keep it simple, stupid. That's right. You can still buy commercial MT or MT50 and openers, but for how long? That is the question. How long? Okay, just making sure we have a good oops, make sure I'm good on here. Sign company here, been around for years. Yeah, you can always price it out, check it out. Doesn't hurt. You are supporting local, which is good, right? It's just sometimes certain stuff is just easier to do in your underwear in front of a computer, but it's still kind of a pain. You know what I mean? So, but this company is really nice. It's one of those things. I don't know how long they'll always be around. I mean, I think they're doing okay. But, and it's just nice. You just walk in there. You're just like, here, can you make this? Can you change this? And they're like, yep. And you're like, all right, sweet. I'm going to go do something else. Garage door guy says, yes, LiftMaster openers aren't the same as they used to be. Rusty, like the 32, 3255, 3280, and 25. I don't remember the 2500. The best openers from LiftMaster. There was a 3265 too, right? Because I always remember I had the 3255 and then I had the 3265, I thought, in my brain. But yeah, those were great openers. I miss those openers. Oh. And also the 1356. Those were like the third horse or something, weren't they? I figured too close to not to me at some point. There you go. Do another show. Nice. What's up, Jesse? Haven't heard from you in a while. You've been doing good. Hopefully things are going good on your end. LiftMaster's coming out with a new lineup for residential ops. Not sure if you talked about that yet. There will be 3 main models. So so I'm glad this is great. So Jesse's got, but supposedly what I've been seeing is I've seen the new remotes. They look like they're harder to program, and the keypad. The keypad looks very similar to the their video one. So I don't have much hope. And it's kind of like, and like I said, you know what I mean? It's not to, it's not to beat anybody up. If stuff works good for you, then do it, man. Then do it. I just can only say what I have seen on my end, and for affordable door and gate, and like when they went to the W, right, with the ATS, that didn't help me. That did not help me. It cost me more money. And then like when they've gone to now the maximum, right, it costs more money. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't help me. So, and it's more complicated. You know what I mean? So, but I'm not saying, hey, they got certain applications that if people need tech stuff, sure. And then where did I see, who was talking? Wasn't SOS talking about how they become more, or maybe it was in the comments, but they're becoming more of a software company than they are a garage door company. So that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Like they got places for them. Like if you want, like when I get the customer, it's like, oh, like I got the brand new smartphone and I got a Tesla and I'm like, dude, like you got to go LiftMaster. Like you got to go Chamberlain. Like they got your back, man. Like you're gonna be all teched out, dude. But when I'm like when it comes to like the part where I go, like I just need something to open and close the garage door, and I need something to not fail and have callbacks, I typically like Genie. You know what I mean? Are they prone? They don't like voltage change. I know that, but it's like at least I understand it. Where sometimes with the Chamberlain, there's so many ghosts in them. It's like, what the hell is this? It's like why is it doing this? 2004. Old ones may seem better. I don't really notice new ones giving us any problems. Once a year, had button new ones. Don't have many board problems. Ooh, sweet. Thanks for sending me some. Yeah, and like I said, I mean, it's kind of one of those things. If the openers work good for you, and like I said, you know how it is. I don't make no money, you know what I mean? But I know it costs me money. And callbacks are the death, especially when you're a new business, and and like I said, trust me, they all kind of stink. They all kind of stink. It's just like I said, you're trying to find the cleanest one. And so far, like I said, especially with the Genie, the commercial openers, when it's funny between me and Cap, and it's like, he's like that one day, like you just don't even think about it, right? We install so many of them, and we're just like, we just don't even think about it. It's like you just get so used to it, I guess. And then he's like, how many circuit boards you ever change in a Genie commercial? They're better one, they're nicer one. I'm like, none. And I'm like, how many have you done? He's like, at the time it was none. And then we did have one not too long ago, and that was it. And I'm like, that's pretty good. You know what I mean? Out of all these years. And then the next conversation all of a sudden comes to is like, have you ever put an extended range antenna on a Genie? And I'm like, no, now that you mention that, I haven't. And I'm trying to, like, my brain's processing, like, I've had a lot of LiftMaster though, especially the fire departments, that, and what did they have recently? They had LiftMaster in there. They're a little bit older LiftMaster, and they put LED lights in there, right, in this fire department. And what did it do? It dealt all the LiftMaster openers. They lost the range, so they had to put antennas on all the openers, extend them out. And what's weird is, even at my old house, a very old house, I remember that was when I had a Chamberlain. It was actually a Sears Craftsman. That was freaking out. Now I think of it, I've never had a Genie. I can't think of one Genie, residential or commercial, that has freaked out over lights. Now, I don't know if this matters. I don't know if this is 100% true, but I heard that's why supposedly, Genie came out with a light bulb, because the president, or whoever, the CEO, came from GE light bulbs. That's what I heard. And I thought, oh, that kind of makes sense why they came out with a light bulb. The guy was, like, hey, John, can you, like, send us some light bulbs, like, like we can market, and make a few extra bucks? And then I don't know if they just have always worked on a different frequency. And that's why, because, like, I feel way more confident when I'm doing residential, that I feel like I just don't even care. Like, I just, like, lights, not a problem. Light bulbs, give them to me. But when you go LiftMaster, I'm always like, oh boy, is this going to fire the door up randomly? Is this going to interfere with the radio? Like, oh boy. And I don't know why that is. But I'm just saying that's something I've noticed. Or Genie, like I said, when Cap told me on the commercial ones, and he's like, you ever done extended range on them? I'm like, no. I never had a customer call me about them and complain about their range. Like, it's never been a ghost. Damn. I don't know. Yeah. Ooh, Rich he says, trying to sell a subscription. Well, yeah, right? I mean, we know that. Rich knows this. He knows this really well. I mean, it's just like the cars and everything else. They're always trying to get more money out of you, right? Just like cars, the build quality is taking a back seat. Complexity of design is increasing. Absolutely. The cars are horrible. If anybody watches the car market stuff right now, all the car gurus out there, the cars are in such shambles right now. I mean, even the Nissan Frontier that I thought was probably about the best vehicle out there, I'm on some of the forums and I'm seeing some of those guys, they got paint quality issues. And I mean, I think they're kind of the least dirty shirt in the dirty laundry basket still, because they got a naturally aspirated V8, or I'm sorry, V6. It'd be nice to have V8, where everybody else went turbo, 4-cylinder turbo. And it doesn't take a rocket science to think about that. You're over pressurizing these vehicles, and these turbos and stuff, and then those turbos, how much harder that is on head gaskets and stuff. The longevity is not going to be there. It's not going to be there. You know what I mean? That's why those old, like 1996 and Chevys and that, the compression was so low on those things. They just lasted forever. You know what I mean? Nothing was straining. They were underpowered. I mean, but when you get more power, it puts strain on things, and then when you're doing something smaller, you're trying to get more power out of something smaller. I think their problems are in the RPM modules. Is this for the Genies, or because Genie had an RPM stuff go on for, they sent like a whole box of RPM sensors because they had some kind of screw up something, or the LiftMaster. Now I think of it, because Papa Tony was buying some, right? And that was, yeah. It's on Genie screwdrives in general. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Oh, let me get on my soapbox. Oh. What do I think about the Genie screwdrives? If they're the professional series ones, they're the best. I just think they're absolutely... And then Texas, he just showed me, I didn't know this, but I don't know if he could do them on all the Genies, but at least for the screwdrives, I didn't know they had 3 different settings. They got a slow, medium, and fast. You can go in the programming and he showed me how to program them. I thought when you just put them up and ran them, that's the speed they went. They normally go pretty fast for what they are. Still haven't done a trolley on one of the newer ones. Maybe they just don't have enough years on them yet to see what goes wrong. I love this screwdriver. I love the screwdriver. I love the design that I can slam it up to the ceiling pretty much. I don't have to worry about some big trolley system or anything. Yeah, the disconnect is plastic, and you know, when you buy the professional one that's all one piece, it's pretty nice. Even if you have to piece it, it never, unless you lost the clips, that was always a bummer. The professional ones though, the screwdriver, I just love it. Absolutely love it. It just, I love the way it runs. I love the way it stops. I know it's I don't see no chain jiggling. I don't have to worry about no belt tensioning, drooping. I think Papa Tony had one where they had it too tight and it made it screw up. And like I said, I'm not gonna, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Genie, but that's just I love the Genie screwdrivers. I love them. If I could probably just, that'd be my only, I don't know why, besides the techie part, that'd probably be my only residential. I just do screwdrivers all the time. If that was me, you know what I mean? Because they're just, put a surge protector on them because they don't like the voltage. You get a lot of power outages or lightning strikes. They don't take those too well. I agree, Rich. The new basic chain drive LiftMaster. What's it say here? The new basic chain drive LiftMaster will have a plastic housing. Will be interesting to see how those hold up in Arizona heat. Boy, it's amazing because I think it was Dennis, right? We're talking the 3255 era, right, of openers, LiftMaster. And Dennis was, I don't know if anybody ever met Dennis. Dennis was our sales rep for LiftMaster. We're dealing directly with him. I remember we're at a seminar or whatever, right? One time we're just sitting there just shooting the crap about it, and he goes, he tells me about the gear kits. He goes, what do you think about those gear kits? I said, I don't know. I said, I know we do quite a bit. And I think he was the one that taught me. He said, you ever notice you do more gear kits on chain drive than belt drives? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, the chain, he said the chain works like an impact. So every time that chain's rattling around, over the years, it chews up the gears. And he says, but he's kind of like, but he goes, look at how much business it gives you. And he goes, most time you just put a gear kit in and you're on your way, aren't you? And I'm like, yeah, for the most part. Like people, they already got the remotes, and that's what I did. I'd always ask people, like, has it been working fine? Have you been happy with it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then let's put a gear kit in it. It's going to save you a little bit of money. I was like, and you'll probably get another 10, 12 years out of it. No problem. And so I guarantee this is not to benefit us. That's just my feeling. This is not to benefit us. So even our biggest LiftMaster dealer guy in the state of Michigan, I remember him saying once, he goes, you ever know they're going to DC? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, soft stop, soft opening. And he's like, you ever pick one up? And I'm like, well, they're a lot lighter. They're a lot easier to install. And he goes, that's it. He goes, they're lighter. He goes, they got less material in them. And I'm like, great. Like, great. Like I was just thinking about something. Like now I know why old people So I have an air chuck, right? For like blowing up tires. Like you push it, you squeeze it, and it blows it up. And it's sitting out in the sun the other day. And then nothing happened to that, but it broke. I don't even know how it broke. It was in a little bin and it broke. And I'm like, God darn it, and I thought, well, if that was made out of metal, that wouldn't have broke. But the sun and the UVs, and it's just plastic crap, and I thought, I got one that's metal though. They can make it out of metal. This ain't like new technology. And I thought, because they made it out of plastic. And I thought, well, that's crappy. It doesn't last as long. And so, it's just like when you think about it, isn't it weird to think, like, when my era was the plastic gears, right? That was kind of my era. And I go, well, that's the way they got to be. You can't do metal on metal. It'd make a bunch of noise. And I go, but remember some of the old timers, they used to do a belt, right? And those belt things just run forever. It's like they ran, and then it's like the gears are there, and now we're going to this, and it's like they're going to probably get less years out of it. So it's just, just sucks. Just sucks. Like I was watching something, one thing that set with me the other day. They were talking about, it's across the internet somewhere, but they were talking about how, a light bulb, when light bulbs were first invented, right? Isn't there one on some fire department out in New York City or something? It's been lit ever since like 1940 or something. But light bulbs are made to last, like they lasted forever. And yet then the companies came together and they decided it was 1,000 lumen hours or something like that, 1,000 hours. And then their profits soared. So when you think about that, isn't that weird to think about a light bulb, that we could have light bulbs today that would probably just be, that last our lifetime, last our kids and our grandkids, but they don't make money, right? We had one go out, an LED one go out in the house not too long ago. Now I would have bought one or two. What's the wife do? The wife buys a whole pack, 5, 10 pack, whatever. Now you got to store the damn thing. Now you got to buy the damn things. You know what I mean? So now, you know what I mean? Well, the other ones are probably going to go out. Maybe it's just a fluke. You know what I mean? But to think about it, how things like, they need us to keep consuming and keep purchasing and keep buying. And it's just getting to be, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Just the money. And then when we're trying to save the earth, when all this stuff is going into the scrap and all this stuff, some of the stuff's going into landfill because some people aren't. Some damn well some people aren't putting that stuff where it needs to go. They're cutting it up, putting it in the garbage can. Hell with it. The garage door guy left the opener, I'll cut it up, put it in the garbage can. I don't care about no damn scrap metal. And all that metal and plastic and everything's going into the landfill, which eventually gets into our water. Something smells funny. Chip, what's up, Chip? Only had one LED bulb, light bulb problem with yellow belt LiftMaster, which has a 310, 315, 390 megahertz frequency. So only had one LED problem. Don't those LEDs got lifetime on them? Because I thought S. West did. He had one. They sent it to him or something. And I thought, I don't know if I like that or not. That idea. That was kind of like thinking, oh yeah, it's a lifetime LED, but you got to tear it apart, which I don't know how hard that is. And then I went, wouldn't it just be easier to put a cover down and put a light bulb in and be done with it, and you're done for the day? And you got it already on the truck versus carrying these LEDs that could all change. We changed the design. Well, I bought 5 of those little boogers. What am I going to do with these? Well, yeah, I'm sure somebody will need them, Then you're going to be on eBay trying to sell them. So I don't know. I just, I don't know. Why don't we just make tires square? Back cornered. I don't know. Is it Wooski or something like that? Said hi, hello. Oh, the new guys hit the like button. Yeah, hit the like button if you don't mind. Appreciate it. Thanks, Rich B. Like and subscribed. Oh. He says, I meant screw in bulb. Oh, since 2012. Nice. Well, it's kind of weird. Like, they always have these weird theories on them. So, like, I was, like, on a big, when we went to, like, I don't remember what it was, the Wayne Dalton, their Genie seminar thing, right? I was like, these light bulbs are amazing. You know what I mean? So I, like, bought, like, a whole little skid of, like, light bulbs. You know, I went just nuts. I bought them. I put them all around the shop. I put them in my house. I put them in every opener. I was just going bonkers with them, right? I was like, these things, like, they have no interference, and they last. And there's something, I can't remember if, like, those light bulbs, they don't like to be turned on and off. But the life expectancy, you know, they'd start doing weird, like they'd like glow, but they wouldn't light up. And I was like, what's wrong with that one? Oh, I'm sure that's just a fluke. That's a $10 to $12 light bulb. That's just a fluke. And all of a sudden, here's another one, you know, or this one doesn't really like to start in the cold. Oh no, what the hell? Or like, you know, like when we were up at deer camp, right? We used to have one that had a bigger socket, but then it screwed into a smaller one or something, so it was like an adapter. We used to have this big light bulb, man. You know what I mean? So like when you're in there cooking meat, you know, cooking steaks and hamburgers and hot dogs and breakfast and everything or whatever. Not breakfast, normally at nighttime. You know, some venison. And boy, I had a big old, like, you know, you plug that sucker in and, man, the old electric meter spinning, but you could see now. And then the light bulb got a hornet's nest in or something. It went bad or whatever. So anyways, we took that out of there. And I remember my dad, he brings up this little curly Q one, right? Put that up. We go the first night, right? We go plug it in. I gotta cook some food. Plug that thing in. Did you turn it on? It's glowing, but it ain't turning on. It's like, you get rid of this hunk of shit. Piece of crap. Hey, working with crap. There's like an LED light bulb in there now. It still ain't the same, man. It ain't the watts. It ain't the power that you need when you need it. You know what I mean? It's like you're up there in the cold, man. And so it's just like we get brainwashed, I think, you know, where, you know, I still think it's bull crap that we can't buy, you can't buy under certain voltage, right, or whatever. Can't buy 20 or 30 watts or a 40 watt, you know, regular old incandescent light bulbs anymore. That's bull crap. You know what I mean? Making them lighter back in the 90s. All the HVAC companies. He says a high. Their furnaces to, what does this say, 35? So you could stack 3 high. Oh, coming from Mexico. Oh, nice. Little side story. Oh yeah, heck yeah, man. Yeah, you know, it's a weird. It's just weird times, you know, and you know everybody's got to find out what works for them. You know, if Chamberlain or LiftMaster works good for you in your area, do it. You know, but if it doesn't, I would tell you don't hesitate. At least for me, you know, because callbacks, man, that costs you a lot of money when you start adding up, especially if you start getting busy. See, it seems like when you're not busy, it's not so much of a problem because you're just like, oh, yeah, I'll go back out there and take a look. But when you got, like, you know, 3, 5, 20 more service calls that you need to get to, people are getting upset. People are falling off, right? I mean, that's what kind of happened with the HVAC, right? I called them up, and they're busy. Good for them. They got 40 calls in front of me, and I went, all right. But that gave me time. Now, if they would have, I was ready. Now, if they would have came out that day or said, we'll have somebody out there next morning for you, and this is not their fault, you know, I probably would have said, okay, and I would have just went down that rabbit hole. But when they said, you know, it's probably going to be 3 or 4 days, I went, 3 or 4 days? Well, I've always wanted to learn something, so I thought, I'll play around. I normally, you know, I've fixed a few fridges, I've fixed a few furnaces, you know, I'll swing. And so I called them and said, hey, you know, your service is so, but what, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's time. And so when you get time with customers, that, you know, and especially now, I mean, I could be wrong with this statement, but I don't think I am. The power of the internet, because that's what they're so hyper focused, you know, that they go, you know what, I can do it. And even though they're not going to do it right, let's just say, or they're going to hurt themselves, well, hey, down the road, I can go get a garage door spring. Now, some people obviously aren't going to do it, right? But what I'm saying is, when you put time in there, time can be your enemy sometimes. Oh, Well, it used to be 4 trucks became 2. Yeah, when you think about it from a manufacturer standpoint, I mean, think about how much more great that is, right? A semi-truck or something full of HVAC or even garage door openers and that. It's lighter, it's quicker, it's easier, it's cheaper, right? Everything's cheaper. Like with these cars or whatever they're doing with all the plastic. I mean, what Dodge come out with recently, right? They got an upper control arm that's made out of plastic. I think there's metal still inside, but majority is plastic. I don't know, man. That's getting wonky. Money. It's all about the money. The bean counters, man. That's for sure. That is for sure. Well, if you guys got anything else, put them in the comments. Like I said, I'll give it to we'll do about 7:45. Otherwise, I'm going to Sunday night. I think I did enough damage here. We'll see. Get her closed up. Monday's coming. I was sitting there looking at the work van thinking, how is it that bumper got replaced? Yet the older bumper looks better on that van than the new bumper. Why is that one got rust and the older one doesn't have rust? And it's not even just rusting where the pole is. It's rusting around the corners. Maybe the new bumper, the aftermarket bumper, is not as good in quality. Thinner. Circuit boards. Circuit boards went kapoof on the old AC unit. Don't talk to Rich B about it. I already got my butt whoopings on it. All right, I know the maintenance has been horrible, but this is why I've also talked about maybe we should offer a service plan to everybody, all our customers, right? We'll be like the LiftMaster and Chamberlain and Genie and everybody else, right? And the car companies say, hey, I can offer a preventative maintenance service once a year, every 6 months. And we come by and we oil everything and it's X amount of dollars. Because honestly, if I would have had an HVAC, I should have, if they would have came by and said, hey man, that thing being in that enclosed dumpster thing, that's not good. Or, hey, it's really plugged this time, we got to clean it. Go for it. You know what I mean? It's going to be an extra X amount of dollars. Instead, they were just swamped. They probably got enough workers. 40 service calls. I said, oh, and I could have called, but I just thought, I like being in the system. You know, everything's just in the system. We're going to be out of the system now. We're out of the matrix. We got the Uncle Dave matrix is on this one. I'm going to jack it up. We'll see what happens with it. What is Rich got here? He's got, I know PMs, but what's PMI? Is it preventative maintenance intervals? Is that what is the I? Or is that a mistypo? Oh yeah, same to you, man. Hopefully everything goes good. If you got anything, or if you need help, do you got my number? You can always text me. You know, if you run into a pickle, let me know. If you don't, I'll give it to you. But you can text is never the best. I still got back with Josh. He never got back. I should shoot him another text. He was talking about possibly he had something about a business decision, and then he was talking about he had a job he was maybe gonna want some help with. Josh is a good dude. Sees some old videos when I was helping him at that one job that he beat me up on with no scissor lift. Definitely got my workout on that one. Just went and had supper. What was for supper? Yeah, we're still alive. You missed all the good stuff. I just kind of put it out there. I said, hey, if anybody's got anything, I was kind of wrapping it up. I don't have anywhere I gotta be, but like I said, I probably should close this thing up. I probably should try to move this dumpster a little bit. This light is like right here. Not so much here or here, but right here. Yeah, Rich B's guys said, what was for dinner? Oh, pork chops? Dang, dude, those sound good. Man, I could do some pork chops. I haven't had pork chops in a while. So he can put in a Steelcraft. I'm hoping, Evan, the Steelcraft would be cool. I'm hoping, like, I'm waiting for you to, like, find that other vendor at some point. Is it going to be like the Wayne Dalton, or where is it going to be the next? What's going to be the next vendor? You know what I mean? Just curious for the future. You know what I mean? That whole strap thing, man. I don't know. Ooh, Domino's tomorrow? Heck yeah, man. That strap. I just think he'd be so much happier with struts. I just really do. I might. Ivan needs to upgrade to struts. He needs some struts in his life. That way he can be strutting. But like I said, Steelcraft, hey, they got their stuff packaged. What was the door manufacturer of the one for the builder? That's dented. What was the manufacturer for that one? Just prefer the Steelcraft. Just try some Wayne Dalton. Wayne Dalton. You gotta stick with the 8000 series though. The non-insulated is pretty decent. The 8300. No. Maybe I retract my statement. Bottom seal. No, you just stay with Steelcraft. I'll deal with that strap thing all day versus that silly bottom seal. Oh, gives me the shivers thinking about that bottom seal. Care of the builder's door. If I go back, make sure it takes pictures of the logo. Yeah, because that might already be a good indication that if it's got that kind of damage, they might be like what we would classify as around here anyways, as the AMAR. And you don't want to deal with that. You don't want to deal with no AMAR with damaged sections all the time. Oh my gosh. Remember one time I think we did one for Lowe's? And I forget what they got. They got some like plastic thing inside. It was for their pinch resistant stuff. And the plastic thing was like literally like falling out of like the groove. And I'm like pushing it. I'm like, what the hell am I supposed to, how am I supposed to keep this up? I can't put screws in here. This is like where it comes together. I don't got no glue that's going to dry fast enough for whatever the problem is. It looks like it was kind of like pinched between the sections or how it was molded. I think I ended up ripping it out because it was like drooping outside the door. I'm like, this looks horrible. Like, what? Like, why would they do this? Like, what is this for? How can I describe it? Because anybody got a good way to describe when you have an inadequate tool or product when you're out in the field? I think me and the Wifetron, we've had this conversation before, and that's why we talk about why it's so difficult. When I think the way we always describe it is you're the end. We always deal with the end user. I think that's how we worded it. So we always deal with the end user. You know, you got your vendor, right? Your vendor sold it to you. Now it's up to you to make the magic happen, right? To put it together, to put all the screws, not to tighten stuff too tight and strip stuff, not to, and then, you're missing something. You got to deal with the end user, the customer. Oh, hi, customer. Yes, customer. I screwed up. I forgot. I'm going to have to come back. You're not happy. I understand. What can I, do you want me to take some money off? Do you want to make a bad Google review about me? I am so sorry. You don't understand. It's my vendor. I just see you in my driveway. I don't see the vendor. You should have this sign in your truck. You're absolutely. I don't have time to come back. You should come back tonight. I'm hosting a wedding or something. Call your vendor. They shut down at 5, right? They close at 4. They close at 5. But you're out working 6, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, right? But they're not. So now you got to wait till the next day. And then your whole morning is not screwed up because now you got to either go out to them or depending on where they're at, or can you even get the parts? So that's why there's always something about the end user. It's like, maybe we should make something that's like the end user sometimes is the loser. Let me write this one down. Got long distance loser, the end producer, and how am I saying this? End guy. The end user is sometimes something like that. Something like that. There's so much that's riding on your shoulders, especially when you provide the product, right? When you don't provide the product, sometimes you can kind of, I'm just labor. I don't know. I'm just labor. I didn't buy it. You take it back. Go take it back. That's why, like, with me, the only reason I ever got a secretary was because I was dealing with Lowe's. And Lowe's required so much paperwork and so much babysitting. I was like, I can't like just be on the phone all day at the job. Like, I just can't do that. So I had to get a secretary. And then things grew from there, but that's why when you start getting products, right, now what are you going to do? Now you got to be there when the truck shows up too. If it's either your house, shipping container, or storage unit, we got to return that product. They don't know how to get in, or they won't get in, or you got to sign off. So, but that's why sometimes the box stores, sometimes, not saying always every situation, but they're open till 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night. Just stuff you got to think about. Lots to think about. This was cool. Bottom seal is completely pre-installed. Okay, so it was black inside and out. Really? That's normally how ours typically is, I believe. Oh, gonna be covered. Yeah. Are these phrases going to be covered? Yeah, there you go. In a book. I should. The garage doors for beginners, for dummies. Because there's a lot, man. There's a lot. And I don't know if it's one of those things with me even talking about it, if I can convey it, where maybe it's just some of those things, like, it's kind of like a kid. Sometimes I feel like, where you tell them, don't touch the stove, and then finally, and it's like, you're not going to touch the stove again, are you? No, I'm not going to touch it again. You know, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's something that can be conveyed or learned. It's kind of, sometimes, you know, for me, you know, I like to listen to older people and take nuggets. But I remember there's so many things where I just was like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. How do I explain it? So many things I thought I could fix, if that makes sense. But I can't fix the vendors. I can't fix the guys that produce the products. Like, that's not, like, I can't do nothing. And even when you think you can, you really can't. Like, when I'd have meetings with these guys, and they'd be like, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, what you want? You want a steak? You want a drink? You're gonna buy a skid tonight, right? Of openers? Yeah. Oh, okay. So what was it again? You're having the lights are coming on, right? I'll make sure I talk to our engineer about that. And you're like, oh, well, okay. That'd be great, man, because we're having a lot of problems with it. I mean, like, dude, I got like a callback like every twice a week for it. You know, yeah. I'll make sure, you know, I'll give them a call tomorrow. I'm at the hotel. You know what I mean? That's the kind of crap. You know what I mean? And it doesn't change. It doesn't change. I've sent like doors back like 5 to 6 times for Wayne Dalton sometimes. And I'm like, how can they like not know like their packaging sucks? And nope, it comes back the same way. It's like I almost just want to be like, whoa, driver, you just hang on. You just keep your happy butt here for a minute. Let me open this thing up, because if it's no good, I'm just going to chuck it right back on the truck. You know what I mean? And I got to the point, I just paint them. I'd be out here. Right out here. See the sawhorse? There's one. I'd be like, spray paint the door. Because it's that bad. And I'm like, why am I having to paint this damn door? Because I got a customer. You know, I just want to get this job done. They either paid half down, they didn't pay nothing. I want to get this job done. I want to get it gone. It's too far away. It's a long distance loser. What the hell was I thinking? Black inside out. That was me. The builder's door was black panels inside out. Oh, okay. Okay, I got you. So just something to think about. I don't know if it's good or bad. If anybody has any opinions on it. I've seen flashers. Oh, they're coming down the road. He's screaming. I thought they're parked. But I think it was Tanner. Tanner showed me, and there was like a brown door. It was brown on the outside, and it was brown on the inside. I was like, ooh. I said, I don't know if I like that. Because typically, right, the outside, but normally the inside, typically in most places is white. Right? Am I wrong with that statement? Most places inside, like, it's not like brown outside, brown inside. So, and I've had a customer, I remember like I had a manufacturer that was like that, and I remember they were like, ooh, like, I mean, all white walls, and here's like this brown looking ugly door, like, ugh. And it, you know, and brown takes away from makes it feel not so roomy. So what I'm getting at is that you might want to steer away from that manufacturer, whoever that might be, because that can become a problem. I think the inside should always just be white. The outside can be whatever color, but that's just my 2 cents. So I'm not a big fan of it. Did Lowe's home pay you for an install? So back in the day, it wasn't a lot. Your doors, you were like a little better. It was like $198, I think, to up to either 10 foot or 12 foot wide for like a 7 or 8 foot. And then you got it was $218. I feel like I remember it was $218 because $318 was what my old truck had, and it was $100 less, so it was $218. You get $218 for a 16 by 7. Now you'd only get $78. $78, I believe it was $78 for an opener install. So the problem is the box stores, the angle they give you is very junk, right? It's real thin. So the guy that was working here, he'd always be taking a sticking angle every time he was going to go do it was like, I was like in that, like, dude, like, you can't take a sticking angle, commercial or residential angle, dude, like that's $20. And think about it, right? When you're only getting $78, you're paying somebody. An opener realistically is 2 hours minimum. By the time drive, they get there, take out one, pull one in. It's 2 hours. It's all 2 hours. It's 2 hours. You're paying a guy, the truck, the fuel. They use a chunk angle that's $20. You're like making $5-10. So it's like, so I'm always like, but the problem is when you have workers, he did good work. You know what I mean? So I can't bash him and say, dude, like, what do you want me to do? Like, just like keep the scraps and then like scrap it all together? No. But if you have the opportunity, use what they provide. You know what I mean? If you can. So that was always that weird balance. It was really hard. Really hard. Not enough money. And I blew up on it. So I did like a lot, almost half of the state of Michigan. So, I mean, we went all the way up to Petoskey. We were in South Haven. We were over in Lansing. Did the Muskegon. So, I mean, I had subs. And I had good subs, man. They were good subs. But it was just very problematic. And Lowe's was actually a lot better back then because they actually had inside salespeople. Versus now, it's just, you're talking to somebody in California, and they don't understand. Last time I talked to one of them, we were charging an extra $100 for custom work. And I remember this guy called, he's like, this is a normal, like, more normal, or this is an unnormal charge of $100. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, we have to bring wood. We have to frame it out. I was like, the garage is an absolute mess. I didn't tell him that part, but that's what I was thinking in my head. So I know we're going to be moving crap. So I think $100 is pretty fair. And he's like, well, this is like, we normally don't. And I'm like, so either the customer pays it. I said, you find a different sub. I said, because I know I'm not your only sub. You guys always have a backup plan for a backup plan. So I'm like, either get a different sub. I said, or we just don't do it. You know what I mean? Like, what do you like? And then he's like, well, blah, blah, blah. And I finally just kind of said, have you ever installed a garage door? Well, no. And I said, I don't even understand how we're having this conversation. Then I said, then you obviously don't understand what we're dealing with. I said, there's pictures. I'm telling you, it needs wood. It needs to be framed out. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, we didn't have any problems before. You know, with like the old system, you know, we put on there, the customer pay it, Like, it was just, you know, so you could squeeze a little bit more money out of them. Sometimes you had to on certain things. You know, you didn't try to, like, you know, you weren't trying to like screw over anybody, but you're just, you know, like when stuff needed to be done, it needed to be done. But yeah, they aimed for customer satisfaction. And so they did some weird stuff. So I definitely could not, like, if you're probably thing is with them too, is you gotta have like the $1 million, which might be more now. You gotta have $1 million coverage for insurance. You know, you gotta go through a lot of hoops to get there. You know what I mean? Like, the truck's gotta be, you know, gotta be insured a certain way. You gotta have all these things, right, for them to basically pay you piddly. But you got a salesperson, you know what I mean? So if it's local and it's just you, now if it was just a single guy and you're not gonna sub it out, or you're not gonna have employees on it, I'd say it's okay. I mean, it's a way to fill in the voids. But now with the new system, I don't know. It was a lot easier dealing with install. They called it the install sales department, and you could call a number, dial it, get right back to them. You normally had 3 people back there, and you could talk to them, tell them the situation. They would get with the customer. It was like having like your own secretary that just worked on the Lowe side. You know what I mean? It was nice. They kind of got after you. Hey, did you call this customer back? No. You know, well, we need you to call. You're supposed to call within 24 hours. You're supposed to schedule a detail within 7 business days. Okay, you know, yep. Oh, what's that? Peanuts. Oh, it didn't have the metal strips inside either. That's weird. Why would you have color the inside? White keeps the garage brighter. That's what I'm thinking, Rich. Like, I forget which manufacturer it was, but it was kind of one of those things, like, when we installed it, I don't think it really screwed me up, but I could see it probably couldn't screw. Well, no, it depends. It's flush. No, I just think maybe it would screw up the installer. You know, like, obviously we're on the white side, dude. Like, there's brown siding out there, or black, or you know something. But I'm with you. The inside is, you want it brighter. So it was like, you know, like this house was like, whatever, it was all drywalled, you know, drywalled, beautiful. And it's like, boom, here's these like black, brown, and it's like, sorry, you gotta paint the inside of your garage doors. Yeah, you need to paint the inside, not the outside, inside. You know, like, I didn't like it. I just thought, no, I do not like that. Don't do that to me. Oh, Kevin's guy says usually a special order, otherwise it's white. Never even thought about that. I never even thought about, maybe that's a special, you know, you tell them, hey, I want black and black, you know, because I could see with this high-end stuff nowadays, people, you know, I could see that, you know, hey, we're gonna have a smoke shop inside, so we're gonna be, you know, it's gonna get all nasty anyway. We want it black on black, you know. I don't get out of bed for under $30, or not 30, 300. Yeah, I'm with you. You know what's weird? Ambulance is coming out. Somebody get bad accident intersection. Not on a Sunday. But what's weird too is they would give us, I think it was $35. But that's where I learned the terminology for detail. So it was $35. So you get $35 to go out and do a detail. And, you know, as time kind of progressed on, it was kind of like $35. Like nobody leaves their building or house for $35. And so, and I forget how it was. It was like they would give you the 35 if they didn't get the door. I think that's how it was. I think it was you get $35 if they never went through with the order. Otherwise, I think they I don't know if they gave you the 35 still on top of the door install, or was like the 35 goes away, but now you get the install. It was just piddly. It was such piddly money. There was a lot of paperwork. I'm sure it's a lot worse now because you're not dealing with people local in your own hometown, and just, you know, just had more of a hometown, because we did some for Lowe's, or not for Lowe's, but for Home Depot. And Home Depot already shipped that stuff over, kind of overseas. Like, you're already dealing with somebody else. Now, the difference was you would basically give them a number, and they would add their number to it, which was a lot. So that was kind of nice. You know what I mean? So, like, you basically put your price, and then, you know, but I don't know if it works so much with, like, the openers. We didn't do a lot through them. So, but I just know at Lowe's, they had a set number. The one reason we kind of got in with them, just something to keep in mind, because you might be, if you're like, oh, I'm going to go to my local, there's normally a regional person that does it. And then they normally stick with, so like with us, because we did Wayne Dalton, they dealt with us because that's who they dealt with. So the guy there asked me one time, he says, hey, would you consider doing the Lowe's installs? And I'm like, yeah. So I went to the seminar and all that kind of stuff. And that's when I heard, like, when I remember they were telling me, like, you know why you're here? And I'm like, I don't know nothing. I'm just a young kid and I'm just here to make money. Like, you know, like this, we're going to be working for Lowe's. Like, we're going to be so rich, you know, like Lowe's. No, like Lowe's. Like, you know, like just, oh gosh, man. Oh, young and dumb. Oh my gosh. So, you know, but he told me, the guy, he's like, you know why you're here? He goes, there's a roofer doing your job right now. And I'm like, a roofer? He's like, yeah. He's like, you know, I'm like, so that's all they have right now is a roofer. I'm thinking, a roofer doing garage doors? Like, that doesn't make sense. And then we have, I remember the system. We get like points. So we have to, like, we'd ask the customers, like, give us a good review, because Lowe's would call behind us. And then, like, I remember one time, like, I had to, like, explain to a lady, which I don't even know if she still gave us a good review, because we go on this chart, and if we got too far, like we got in the red, we go bye-bye. So, like, I don't know if it was every month, you get like this list, and you could see everybody. It'd show you like everybody on there, and you see some of your competitors and stuff. You're like, oh yeah, you know, we're better, you know. And I remember, I don't remember where I was going with that. We have our competition on there, and so this lady one time, Lowe's botched this job so bad, and I knew this lady. Like, Lowe's told me, the install salespeople were like, this lady's like really hot. Her order got screwed up. This isn't your guys' fault. And I'm like, but it's gonna be our fault. You know what I mean? Like, when we go there, we do the install. When they call, they don't define, hey, how did Lowe's perform and how did the subcontractor perform? No, it's just, we're all part of Lowe's. How was your experience? So, like, I kind of like begged and pleaded with this lady, like without getting fired, basically, from Lowe's. I'm like, you understand, like, we're a subcontractor. So we had no part in ordering this door, and I heard you had a lot of problems. I'm really sorry to hear that. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, this and that. And she was kind of nippy on it. And I said, but you are going to get, I said, but on us, just for our install, you know. And she's kind of like, I'll see what I can do. Oh, I'm just going to tear Lowe's. Like, she's already like telling me, she's like, they already screwed up my dishwasher. So they dragged something across they're giving me all new carpet. I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's nothing that's going to make this lady happy. So she's just going to put all worse so she can hopefully get something for free. And I'm just like, oh man, this ain't good. You know, and it's going to make me look bad, you know, on the review, which is my corporate guy that looks at it. That's all. He's the numbers guy. So he's just looking at it like, well, Dave, you know, it looks like you're down in the yellow. You ain't got too much. You're going to be in the red, and we're going to have to get rid of you. So you're, you know, which we never got down there. We actually did pretty good. And it was weird. Like, they got rid of it. And that's kind of when they were starting to transition over kind of out of it. So like we just kept doing it for a long time. And then I remember when I cut out of it, the lady called me and she was kind of like, what did she say? She said something about, she goes, it's funny how when things are tough, everybody's looking for these positions, these jobs, but when things are good, they want to leave, and basically trying to like, kind of guilt trip me into it, like you should stay. And I was just like, I just can't. Like we just had so much commercial going on and stuff. I just like, this doesn't make financial sense at all. Like, I mean, it just, even when I was thinking about trying to hire somebody, it was like another truck, insurance, gas. This doesn't make no sense. Like this doesn't add up. I'm going to paint the ceiling black. Basements and garages. To hide clutter. I did not know that. To hide clutter. So like, what is this? Like when the doors open, it just looks black in there, so it doesn't look so much stuff. Oh, that's right. That's a good advertisement. Why do I remember? Did you send that to me, Rich? Call us, your wife is hot. I've seen that. Where have I seen that? Did you send me something? Or did I see a billboard? Man, maybe I seen it on Facebook or something too. I don't know. It's just kind of weird. Just a ceiling, huh? Oh, is it like for all your HVAC stuff and your wires and stuff for like a open ceiling or something? Maybe. Is that what it kind of helps? I don't know. Black, huh? Spray it? I can't imagine doing all that. All right, guys. The sun is going down. I'm going to get out of here. Hope everybody has a good Sunday. Hope you have a great week. If you got anything, email me, text me, call me. Well, you can try to call, but I never answer because my phone's always on silent. Sorry about that. But you can always text me. We can always set up an appointment. Otherwise, the email, the Daveadubson@gmail.com. I typically put it in all my videos in the description below. Otherwise, have a great Sunday. Hope you enjoy this nicer, less humid weather, maybe. It's supposed to be still pretty hot, but we'll see you later. Keep your fingers. Take care. And just remember, if I can do it, you can do it. See you guys. Thanks, Rich B.